You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and you were at your wit's end? That is my point of view.
Man. It's been a minute. It's come in my room. What's that? I forgot how that R. Kelly song goes again. Oh man, I was just listening to it just the other night. But anyways, I was bumping that joint on the way home. Oh my God. This dude got cuts. It was I was listening to the album that came out in 98. I don't know if it was a soundtrack album or it was an official R. Kelly album. That's a good ass album. It came out in 98. I might have to look it up. Oh man. R. Kelly album 19 what's no, not R. Not that one. Let me see if I can search this up real quick. Album 1995. Is it 1995? Yeah, the one that came out in 95. This one right here. Let me share this with you. Pause. Yeah, I was bumping this the other night. The intro to the intro to Sermon, Hump Bounce. What? That's a good album right there. I'm not even like that. That is a good album. Yeah. Oh man. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I really like artists like that, the R. Kellys of the world, Tyrese, right? Genuine, Tank. You know, these are talented brothers, man. Straight up talented brothers that made some very, I would say, very influential music. There is a lot of niggas that would not be here because that was what do you call, was it baby making music? Oh man, what was Tyrese talking about? This is that leave it in music. I was like, yep, yeah, this exactly. Don't y'all. Well, nowadays hoes don't want to fuck like. Nowadays, girls don't want to make love to music like that. They want to have sex with Future playing and Lil Uzi Vert playing. They want to have sex with Lotto playing in the background and like really like heavy trap music. That's what they want to fuck to nowadays, you know. So it's a different time, but back in those days, I guess the reason why, I guess maybe that's why I can connect easily to some to music like that, because maybe that's how I was conceived. I'm pretty sure something like that. But during those times, you talking about the late 90s, early 2000s, whatever ninja you saw that was born from 98 through 2000 2005, 2006, they probably got conceived to Genuine and Tank. No, not Tank. Tyrese, right? Low key, Tank's music is for like, unfortunately, his music is great. It's great in terms of harmony and it sonically sounds good, but in terms of the lyrics, it's almost like it's music for guys that like to sit in a cuck chair, low key. But I can never deny Tank's talent, so I can't take away from that. But just his lyrics, I can't get behind those lyrics, man. Look at the lyrics to his hit record, Maybe I Deserve. Look at the lyrics if you guys get the chance. Look up Tank, Maybe I Deserve, and then look at the lyrics. There's a reason why women love Tank so much, is because of the lyrics of that song, you know. But that's a whole other story for another day. Here today, we're going to be watching the full interview of Corey Holcomb going on the Truth After Dark podcast. They talk about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Talks about his beef with Ari Spears. I didn't finish the last 20 minutes of the interview, so the last 20 minutes is going to be basically a live reaction. But he talks about everything: his controversial start to 2026, the Kevin Hart roast, him purchasing women. He talks about everything on here. But before we get into that, I just want to check on Twitter to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm going to check my Twitter real quick just to make sure before we even get into the interview. Like I said, yeah, shout out to R. Kelly, these brothers, Tank, Genuine. Who else am I missing? There's a lot of other brothers out there that made some great music. Yeah, John B. Oh man. Jamie Foxx. I'm missing a whole lot of people. Joe, right? Who else am I missing? Kem. Yeah, Kem. I'm missing a whole lot of people. Leave it in music. Leave it in music is great. Oh man, these are some interesting brothers, man. Let me check my Twitter, because I saw a lot of interesting things this week via Twitter. Like, oh man, hold on. Like, it's a lot of interesting stuff that happened that I saved. Like, I'm gonna share my bookmarks with you. I'm gonna share you my bookmarks with you. You got Chrissy Freud. Remember Chrissy Freud? She was the girl that got fired for calling out Diana Rossini for basically trading sex for stories, right? And it's very interesting. Now she gets to say that, look, these female journalists be out here. The female journalists in the sports media, they be trading sex for stories. Now she gets to say it, but when I said it, they had, you had you had this crazy broad making a whole video on me, acting like I don't know what I'm talking about, and beautiful women can't be journalists. And stuff like this. And I'm like, that's not what I said. But it's very interesting. Now it's popular to say the truth when it comes to this industry, when it comes to the sports industry. Why people were so silent about the Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel saga. Why the NFL decided not to really dive in and really investigate possible tampering and other connections via that. Like, it's very interesting. And like, how about this? How about this with this story? How about this? How about this? How about this here? People were mad at Shannon Sharp and what's it? Yeah, the Nightcap crew, Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco, for not covering the story And the fans want to answer like, why are you guys not covering like one of the biggest stories in sports? And they were just like, and Ocho Cinco, his words, this is Ocho Cinco's words. He says, this happens all the time. So this is my problem though with that. Like, so when we say the obvious, especially me, it's not that they don't say not all female sports journalists do that. And I don't like that response as well. But at least you acknowledge it exists. The response that I be getting or other dudes be getting when they talk about the obvious, they act like we're crazy. They act like, oh, what kind of woman are you hanging around with, or what type of and you're just speaking on the obvious, what's happening. Now when somebody gets caught up, now you want to use our arguments to shield yourself from covering the story. You firing other female journalists for calling out another female journalist. And their defense is what I've been saying all along. I wish I could find that the female YouTuber that tried to call me out and acted like I didn't know what I was talking about. And I said this. I said this last year. I said most of these female journalists in sports, they're not there to cover sports. They're trying to get shows and they're trying to sleep with athletes. It's another dating strategy for them. That's what I said. And this broad, I don't know. She looked like, I think she was in her late 30s or something. She tried to act like I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't like that. Like, you saying beautiful women can't. No. And I specifically called out Kayla Nicole and Joy Taylor. I was like, these are not journalists. Besides, I'd be on Instagram and I'd be seeing the clothes that these hoes be wearing. I'm like, I know what you're doing. You're not doing journalism. You're trying to get shows, which there's nothing wrong with that, but that's what it is. And if I say it, don't act like I'm crazy. That's gonna that's gonna get me triggered. There's nothing more triggering to me when, like, if I'm speaking on something that women do or something that I've seen certain type of women do certain things, and then another woman will be like, what type of where are you meeting this woman? That triggers me to no end because they know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. And as a matter of fact, they will be at their job going to war with the exact type of woman I'm talking about, but for the greater sake of the sisterhood, the so-called sisterhood, they will just gaslight you. They will look you dead in your face or online and just completely gaslight you and act like you don't know exactly, you don't know what you're talking about. You're making this stuff up. You're hanging around the wrong people. All of that nonsense. That is triggering to that is so triggering to me. It's not even like, even when people do the thing, oh, not all women, at least they acknowledge it exists. That shit when they act like they don't know what you're talking about and they try to make it seem like you're crazy. Oh my God, that does something to me. And all I gotta do is go to that same woman's job, and she's going to war. I'm talking about she's in beef with women exactly the one that I'm describing. But yeah, the sisterhood, man, they it's no joke. But hey, shout out to Chrissy Freud. You know, she did get fired for speaking the truth. It's very interesting. And remember when I said Michelle Beadle, her response was, I don't want to see no women trying to call out Diana Rossini. I got receipts of y'all doing the same thing. And I'm like, so all of y'all hoes is doing this. Sleeping with athletes, doing these things, trading sex for stories. So I was right the whole time. Trying to get shows and doing all that. So I'm like, oh, so I was right the whole time. I knew what I was seeing. But that shit right there where they be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking. Oh, you just say you think men and women can't work together. No, they cannot. They cannot. Clearly they can't. So I'm like that shit. I know what I'm seeing. I know exactly what I'm seeing. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, by the way, thank you, Pyro. I saw your comment earlier. But shout out to XVYJZ. He says, "Did you see MTR is a passport bro now moving to Thailand? AMS is pissed." I saw. Ah man, it's some funny stuff. Yo, because I saw that. I was like, this. He said this nigga spent 1 week in Thailand. He said, "I'm out." Hey yo, hey man, yeah, I saw his response. Yeah, Pyro's right. He said that MTR said that the passport bros were right. Yes, I was laughing my ass off when I saw that. This dude spent 1 or 2 weeks in Thailand and he was having a whole eternal crisis or a whole this ninja had a whole spiritual awakening moving to I was like, hey boy, I was laughing my ass off last week seeing that, and I saw MTR's response. I saw the response, and oh yeah, and yeah, AMS is he I saw AMS response as well. Alpha, I think his name is Alpha Male Strategist or Alpha Male Studies, but the guy that runs that channel. Who honestly I don't mind him. Honestly, I don't mind Alpha Male. I forgot what the last letter stands for, but I don't mind. I really don't mind AMS's content. But I saw his response. He was he was trying to explain it away. He's like, nah, man. But what you see is what really happened. I was listening to his response. On the train ride to New York City the other day. I was I was like, bro, there's no there's no bro. But by the way, that's gonna happen. And if I'm not mistaken, doesn't MTR live in ATL? If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. But doesn't MTR live in ATL? Someone please hit me up in the chat if I don't know if I'm saying the right things here. I hope I'm saying the right things. Let me bring up mediocre tutorial and reviews. I want to bring up his picture because thank you for bringing that up because now I can just make this a little mini segment right here. Because I saw that last week. Man, I'm gonna be roasting MTR low key. Not because look, I'm happy for him that he is a passport. Now he's officially a passport, bro. I am a little bit happy for him, but it's funny, you know, because if somebody like MTR is now basically he's putting his stamp of approval on it because since he's one of the more popular male content creators in the space, if he puts his stamp on it, that's gonna send some shockwaves. Now you know what people are gonna stop calling them losers. It's gonna now it's not gonna be a they're not even gonna really call themselves passport bros anymore. It's just gonna be black dudes really like I gotta leave United States. He's literally gonna be because it's a lot of black dudes that look up to MTR, right? He has a lot of influence. So if he puts his stamp of approval on it, that's gonna send some real shockwaves. So that's why it's funny to me. I don't know. Is he from ATL though? Somebody gotta. Yeah, I think. Let me see. I think he is from ATL. I think he is from ATL. By the way, especially if you're a black man and you live in ATL and then you go to Thailand. First of all, if you how do we? Because me personally, I just think if you just date a different race of women, you're gonna get a different experience, right? And just in my opinion, or just someone from a different that comes from a different culture of a different background, you'll start to understand there's a different way of looking at the world. Even when I told you I've had my criticisms of America lately, and I said this myself. I was like, what can we as Americans what can we really stand on in terms of values and morality and righteousness? Like, what can we really stand on? Is there really anything, especially for the average man? Is there really anything for the average man here? Even men with men of means, what is your prize? What is your reward for working so hard, doing the right thing? There's literally nothing for you. There's literally no reward for you doing the right thing, doing what you're supposed to do, being a good man, et cetera, et cetera. There's nothing. And then especially when you go overseas or you go or you different you visit people with different backgrounds where you can be the average working man and have more hope. Sorry, you could be a poor man and still have a hope of having a family. You can have kids and build a legacy, and people will laugh at, oh, you using the word legacy and all this stuff. I'm like, well, a lot of guys, that's what they look forward to. And if you can't even do that here in the States, where the bish is uh where in the States where the woman that you sleep with is legally allowed to traffic your own kid from you at will, and then at the same time talk about I don't want kids and blah blah blah. Like, what reward is there for the average hardworking man trying to work his way up? What is his reward? And then you go to another place where you can have a family even if you're poor. They don't look at a poor man as, oh, he ain't shit, he's a bum. No, they see a poor, they see a man that might not have means, but he has a family, he has a value system, he has a structure. You're still able to have an imprint on society. You can't do that in the States. And I'm talking about you could be a whole millionaire. You can't even do that. The bitches run the house. You know what I mean? So it's especially when you travel or you just experience a woman from a different country, etc. You're like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing in the States? How what happened? He experienced Thailand for like 1 or 2 weeks, and he's like, I cannot stay in the States anymore. Like, the United States, you go to the United States to make money, to hustle. That's what you do. Like, United States is for the hustle. It's not to start, it's not for family building, it's not for righteousness, it's not for establishing a structure, a patriarchal structure. It's not for that. You use the United States to make money, to hustle, and then send it back to your peoples. Right? That's what the United States is for. Because really, what's basically been exposed, especially for the past 2 years now, shout out to Kanye, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. we are living in an occupied state. Like, this is an occupied state. I have no respect for this country at this moment. Like as we speak, zero respect for it. But anyways, so now what men are now gonna do? They're gonna go the MTR route. They're gonna call it the MTR route. They're not even gonna call it the Passport Bro movement anymore. You heard it. For people, they're gonna reference MTR. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna go to MTR route. They're gonna use the United States to hustle, get their money, and leave. And I'll say this: Corey Holcomb was talking about this a decade ago, honestly, but he was speaking more on the pro-black route. He was more on, like, what is there really for us as black people and blah blah blah, right? He said that he wanted to make his money and then eventually leave the United States, which is a decent plan, honestly. But now Yeah, the older I get, I always see where where Corey Holcomb is coming from, and now it's the norm. It's the norm. But anyways, oh man, I'm not even gonna bring up his picture. My bad. I ain't even gonna bring up. I'll make a segment of this, and I'll probably post this. I'll post this live. This segment of this live stream, and then I'll have tutorials face on it. You know, shout out to MTR. Man. Shout out to MTR. Shout out to that brother. Let me bring up. I can bring up his image. I don't mind. I can bring up his image. Shout out to Knock in the building. He said, "Stop laughing at ninjas. That's racist." Oh, shout out to Lorette Hamilton in the chat. One of the OG, if not the OG original supporter of this channel. She said, "MTR cannot make dollars and cents off Pop the Balloon. Welcome to the new strategy, Passport Envy." That's an interesting perspective because you know, it was a lot of male content creators making easy money just just showing those damn pop the balloon show segments, right? That was like easy. How do you say it? Like picking that low hanging fruit type behavior, low key, you know. But it is what it is. Yeah, XBY Jay-Z says AMS sounded like a bitter American woman, not sure why he's upset. What another man does, more women. What another man does, more women for him. Like it's weird. You know, we talk about. I don't know what is it with ninjas, where they will go out their way to shame the passport bros. I never got it. Mind you, I'm not like a OD, supporter, but I completely understand. But to see the men, like, I'm talking about, go out their way to show, hey, I don't know, man, these guys are weirdos, and seeing the, like, basically doing the dirty work of the mammies. You know what I mean? It's like it's crazy work to me, you know. But anyways, he said now it's gonna be cool for the normies, because here's the thing, because with the passport bro thing, the problem that I do have with the passport bro thing is this. Unfortunately, now the women overseas, they see us coming, right? So back in the day, we could just be, expats, what's it, ex-military, and then we can move to these spots, and yeah, they will see us coming, but it's just like, okay, that's just an expat, right? But now they really see us coming in droves, and that could lead to a lot of dudes getting played. So I hope people do their research, right? But at the end of the day, that's still a better option. that's that's still a better option than the woman here. You know, unfortunately, that's where we are. That's where we're at. Lorette Hamilton said, "At first, I believed him when he was burnt out of YouTube, but now, nah." So you believe? So Lorette thinks this is just his new shift, and it is a very strategic shift on his end. It is very strategic. Oh yeah, that is true. XVY Jay-Z says he will lose a lot of his black women supporters moving overseas. Exactly. So he knows that there's a little bit of shedding he's gonna have to do. So Lorette Hamilton says MTR is from New York City and moved to Atlanta after his dad died. Oh, so yeah, that's, of course. So he recently moved to ATL. Please, man, ATL. Like I said, boy. Paul Mooney had a famous quote. He said that if Los Angeles doesn't get destroyed by God, God owes Sodom and Gomorrah an apology. Right? That's a quote from Paul Mooney. But I feel that way not about LA, but I feel that way about ATL. ATL is not, that's just not real life. So I'm pretty sure what he was experiencing from ATL, these past, I forgot when MTR's dad died, but I think it was recent, like I think 1 or 2 years ago. So these past couple of years where he probably really needed a woman at that time. Especially, when you experience loss, sometimes you'll reach out and you look for emotional support or emotional comfort. This is where your loved ones come in, and this is where really a woman could come in, but look at the options. He's in ATL. Like any biche that started like this, like anybody that started a dating podcast and they're coming from ATL, you can just dismiss it. They're not what ATL represents has nothing to do with in actual America. Like ATL really should kind of like separate from the United States if they can. They need to be like their own little sovereign land, whatever that means, because ATL is just not a real place. I've been to ATL. It's just not. That's not the United States. Like ATL, I would never move there, ever. I remember my homeboy, my college roommate. He moved there. Yo, hold on. Let me show you something real quick. I know I'm spilling a lot. I'm spilling a lot of beans, but it's been my duty, especially for the past 2 months, to be a bit more forthcoming with you guys about my personal life and all this stuff. Dude, my college roommate, he moved to ATL from Connecticut 2 years ago, and he ended up getting snatched by a girl from overseas. I'm not going to say what country she's from, because she's like, I'm not going to say she's OD Instagram famous, but people know her, right? But she's from another country. So how does a black man from Connecticut moves to ATL, all those black women in ATL, and he ends up getting basically chose by a Caucasian woman from a whole other country, and she ends up moving him from ATL to her country. And they're basically, I'm not saying he's about to get married, but it's the marriage proposal is basically coming at this point. I'm like, damn, how bad are the women, specifically the black women? How bad are the black women in ATL? Like, this needs to be studied. This needs to be like a study that's done, like where you, like, it's almost like, how like you'll have the National Geographic, they'll have a documentary, and you'll have a British guy in the background holding the camera. It's like, these are the baboons, and they're doing this, and these are the monkeys that, they need to do something like that with ATL. They have to. They need to do this, because this is getting ridiculous. Like, how bad are the women over there, where you have a foreigner could come in a spot? It's mostly, especially if you're a black man and you're over, especially if you're over in a certain height, the woman is like, what's happening where he and they and the black women are still not getting chose in ATL. A foreigner came in, took a top, mind you, this guy, this is what you call one of the top 1% black man. He's what you like, my roommate that I'm describing, he's what you would call a top 1% black man. And he still finds something else. How? I don't know, man. Black women in ATL, y'all, I don't know what y'all doing over there. Y'all are just not. You guys might be the worst women in the history of mankind. I ain't even gonna hold you. This is way too many times where I'm like, there's other people I know about this where they'll move to ATL, and even though they're a black man themselves, and they're like a top % black man, they're still finding comfort in another specific woman. Like, how's that possible? That's crazy. That's like a white dude moving to, that's like a white dude moving from ATL to Connecticut and then ending up, and he moves to New Canaan or Greenwich or something like that, or Farmington, one of these spots, and he ends up with an Indian chick. No, not an Indian. I'll say a black chick, basically. How is that even possible? That's impossible. That's impossible. That's ridiculous. The numbers are literally on your side. He's a top percentage black man. Bruh. But anyways. XBY Jay-Z says, I can see Chris moving overseas. It's the move. I have a place in mind. He knocks, so you gotta kiss the wall. Never. Oh, the court the quartering. I like I said, one of the reasons why I kind of like, the war band, Chronic and those guys, because I don't really have an opinion on that group, the quartering, those people. I just think they're just a bunch of degenerates, just off the like from the outside looking in. But a lot of conservatives, they rally behind these groups like the quartering, the Daily, what's that thing called, the Daily Wire or something, the thing that Shapiro runs, right? But I never bought the hype. But that's why the war band, they caught my attention with how they used to go in at those people, Elijah Schaefer and those people. I was like, it's not a lot. I'm like, it's not a lot of people that will actually go at people like that. I gotta respect that. But anyways, yeah, the Plantation Bros. XVY Jay-Z says the dudes against the Passport Bros are called Plantation Bros. Facts. It's either it's 2026. Like somebody said in the comment section a long time ago, it's either you're a passport bro or you're a cleanup bro. Is no in between. In 2026. Man. Henoch says, what do you expect? It's the crab mentality of the ninjas. They rather drag you down than be happy for you. Pyro says you can't support your fellow men getting one overseas. That's corny, bro. Hating men because he's getting women overseas is very corny. It's a lot of black men I'm seeing doing this. It's crazy to me. It's wild to me. It's completely wild. These are gonna be the same, mind you. These are gonna be the same black dudes they're gonna be going on Twitter, making fun of other white dudes for hating on interracial dating. Meanwhile, you're in your own camp. You're dragging down your fellow black men for deciding to choose different women. That makes no sense to me. Like, shouldn't you be like, you would think especially the pro black blackity, or was it pro blickety black types? You would think they'll be their number. You think that they would actually be the number one supporters of this, but yeah, but they'll be in the comment section talking about basically my dick, and we taking over. This is why white women want us and all this stuff. And then you're at the same breath, you mad at black men going overseas? What that, bruh? But anyways, like guys like that, these are the, how do I put it? These are the police. They're basically the police dogs. Black men like that are the police dogs of the mammies. They cannot be trusted. XVY Jay-Z says, oh no, Henoch says, what's ATL? ATL is Atlanta, Georgia. Right. So I apologize about that. ATL is Atlanta, Georgia. That place is Looney Tunes land. It's not even like, it's not where you got like a really large black population, or like a large black population of like, corporate, working type people. It's not a representative of most of America, where there's a lot of well-off, a lot of well-off to do black men and black women. If you want to find a large populace of that is most likely ATL that you're going to see that. But I'll say the last time I've been to ATL was when I was on tour, and shout out to the bartender. I was having a great conversation with her, and she was talking about her ex and how her ex had a Haitian background, and I did not even want to tell her what my background was because I didn't want her to. Because we were having such a great convo. If she found out about my background, she'd be like, "Oh, you just like man, oh man." But anyways, I gotta go back. I gotta go back to that place. That was an interesting venue. I'm not gonna say what venue it was, but I played at. It was this spot. It used to be a church, but it's now a club venue. It's a very interesting spot. XVY Jay-Z says Anton also shamed MTR. Did he? Good Lord. I'm gonna take your word for it. But mind you, XVY Jay-Z, there's a lot of people, and I'm gonna say this right here. And it's no disrespect to the free agent lifestyle, no disrespect to CJ, but there's a lot of weirdos in that CGA chat. And I saw this when Corey Holcomb was going through his thing. It was people in CGA's chat. It was a large, I'm not going to say most, but it seemed like most. It was a large percentage of them saying, literally campaigning for the cancellation of Corey. And that really woke me up. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all weirdos? I was like, I'm not saying you got to like him, but I'm like, you're saying that Corey needs to be canceled and he needs to bend the knee. And I'm like, bro, if liberals came up with a compilation of Donald Trump's dirtiest jokes and said that he needs to be canceled or impeached, you would call these guys liberals and snowflakes. But like I said, it was black men in there basically campaigning for Corey's cancellation. I was like, y'all some real weirdos. But a lot of those guys were also Anton fans, but people that are fans of Anton, I would just say, like, I don't know where these guys grew up, where you would like to call, like, where you're calling yourself a bag chaser. I don't know what man I don't know what man I grew up that I looked up to growing up called themselves a bag chaser. I had never seen that shit in my life. I had never heard my dad, my grandpas, or all the dudes that I looked up to, all the schoolyard legends I looked up to, the big dudes that I looked up to. I ain't never heard call themselves bag chasers, or I be chasing that bag. That's I'm like, that's the type of person y'all campaigning behind. That's crazy work. But it was a lot of weirdos in that chat. Sizzo Music, whoever that guy is, I think he's one of the bigger CGA supporters. What a fucking weirdo. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, they like just complete weirdness on a whole other level. Because I already know if Donald Trump were to get a compilation made on him, you would call those guys liberals and left wings and all this stuff. But Corey Holcomb can't make his own jokes. You want this nigga to apologize for making jokes? The fuck? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, weird, complete weirdo activity. And mind you, I saw that clip. I don't know if I can find, I don't think I saved it, but there's a clip where Anton Daniel says, "I will do anything to be famous." And I think I'm paraphrasing, but there's a clip of him saying this. I will do anything to be not, I don't know if he said famous, but basically to basically make it. I'm like, I'm like, that's something like a gay man would say some shit like this, or a borderline, one of them weirdo theater kids would say some shit like this. Like, it's an earlier video of him saying, I don't know if he's like, he was wearing something, or a hot dog suit, or something along this line, and he said that, and I was like, what the like, this is the person that people are rallying behind. I really had to look at men in general, but specifically black men. I was like, yeah, I see why hoes is not really fucking with y'all like that. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I'm just keeping a buck with y'all. I'm like, yeah, I see why motherfuckers ain't fucking with y'all like that. Remember when the Corey Holcomb situation? Remember when people were saying, "Man, Darlene is going to leave, and he's gonna," and I'm like, bruh, I said this on this channel. I was like, I really don't care if Darlene leaves or goes. But I'm like, but watch after all this, she's gonna be right there tomorrow. I said, watch. She's gonna be right there the next day. I'm talking about black men going out their way. Oh, Darlene's about to leave the show and shit. I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, who gives a fuck? Number one. And number two, she's gonna be right there. That bitch ain't got nowhere to go. I'm like, good Lord. But and then lo and behold, literally the next day, she right there. Bitch ain't going nowhere. Fuck wrong with these niggas, man. But anyways, he said the reverse Uncle Ruckus types. Lord Hamilton said, "What did Anton do? Make fun of MTR's voice?" I don't know, but yeah, like there's a lot of people that I lost respect for in when it comes to like me personally. I don't respect most Andrew Tate fans. No disrespect, and it's not really no disrespect to Andrew Tate. I just don't his fan base, particularly his British fan base, is a whole bunch of male hypocrites from my point of view. And I don't really respect a whole bunch of, Myron Gaines fans, whoever you want to name, right? But unfortunately, mind you, I love CJ. I love CJ. I love his content. His content really helped me out in my early 20s, right? So I will always be forever in debt. But there are, unfortunately, the supporters can be a bit just, yeah. Like, oh, yeah, he says, I don't like most of CGA's chatters. And by the way, like some of his mods are so quick to like block certain people. I'm like, I don't know. Like some of his mods, Sizzle Music, he didn't block me. I'm just saying, I've seen these people, the way they the way they do certain things, the way they say. I'm like, yeah, y'all a little bit of some weirdos. Y'all weirdos. There's another reason why you guys are struggling in that women department. You guys are a little bit insecure, little weird little weirdos. No disrespect. All right. No disrespect to those guys, but that Corey Holcomb situation, that kind of woke me up. And then with the Anton Daniels thing, that woke me up. And then on top of that, remember when Harvey Levin got in trouble? Or sorry, not in trouble, he was listed in the list. All these dudes making Corey content video, none of them outside of Ticket TV. Is probably like it was like 4 female channels, 4 female content creators that covered the Harvey Levin situation. That was very interesting to me. And oh yeah, by the way, shout out to some of the pro Blickety Blacks who reached out to me and and exposed that Anton Daniels might actually, because I thought he was an agent, but somebody broke it down where he said that there's a lot of people that are disguising themselves as conservative channels, but they're really hired by left-wing politicians or left-wing agencies and all these things to make Republicans look bad or to make conservatives in general look bad, so they can so the left can gain voters. And I was like, that's a little bit much, but it's plausible. It's plausible because I've seen some really bad actors in the conservative space, and I'm like, who hired you? Like I'm like, y'all just making conservatives look really bad. So that's why it's a plausible theory. Like outside of the the side chicks and the Mika situation, Anton is gonna get exposed a little bit, like way more, way more. Oh, and speaking of which, let me bring up something real quick. So, do people have are people caught up with the AJ Brown situation? Well, AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts situation, because people got their theories about why they fell out. And remember, I told you guys, like, I'm like, this has to be over a girl, right? This has to be over a girl, some side chick or some, right? Now, there's a theory that's going around where they're saying that Jalen Hurts, like they're saying that AJ Brown was messing with some side chick that Hassan Reddick was messing with, and AJ Brown's girl found out, so she confided in Jalen Hurts' wife, and Jalen Hurts' wife told AJ Brown's wife to leave AJ, and AJ Brown's wife, or AJ Brown's girl at the time, did not want to leave AJ Brown, so she ended up beefing with Jalen Hurts' wife, and it became something, whatever. So there's a whole bunch of theories going around with that situation, and I told you, let me see if I can bring up the file. Let me see if I can bring up this file. I told you guys, Jalen Hurts' time on the swap list. Remember, I had Anton Daniels on the swap list. I had no idea this was going to happen, though, with Anton. His fallout is damn near legendary at this point. But let me see. Do I have... I hope I still have my swap list files. I know I didn't delete it. Let me see if I can bring it up. But remember, because it doesn't have, mind you, it doesn't have to be this year. The fallout doesn't have to be this year. I said this in the beginning of the year. It doesn't have to be this year, but it's coming, right? So I have who did I have? Let me see if I can open up all of these at the same time. Because I had LeBron James. I had Matt Walsh, right? I had Ben Shapiro. I had Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts, his time is coming. So with all these theories going around, and there's apparently there's people that's already in the know. What I've personally noticed is they're just trying to make AJ Brown look like the bad guy. I was like, uh-oh, this is where the setup comes. They're just trying to make it seem like it's just all AJ Brown, and AJ Brown is the one, he was the one cheating and all this. Look, if AJ Brown was sitting there messing with multiple hoes, you think Jalen Hurts wasn't? They're trying to make, because Jalen Hurts has been very quiet. He's been very quiet about the situation, about his situation with him and AJ Brown. You don't think, dude, once it finally falls out, when shit hits the fan, I'm not saying Jalen Hurts did anything dirty, but remember when Joe Burrow got exposed last year by accident? Like they found out about him and then having hoes and all this stuff. Even though he had like a fiance, it was like something happened at his house where somebody caught a picture of his home situation. I forgot what happened to Joe Burrow, but basically it got put out there by the media by accident that he be having hoes, right? And that's not shocking, but people were kind of shocked because he had a fiance, but the fiance already knew, and it was no big deal. People were saying that Jalen Hurts, his wife right now, she was saying that cheating is non-negotiable, and she encouraged AJ Brown's girl to leave him for cheating, right? But AJ Brown's girl was not having it. She said, "No, I'm not going to do that." So, if that's the mentality of Jalen Hurts' current wife, give it a little bit of time. Just give it a little bit of time. Just give it a little bit of time. The fallout's going to happen. And there's no disrespect, but that the way that I don't know if you guys been noticing it, but in the media, they're just trying to make it seem like AJ Brown was the problem. Usually when they do it like that, and then once the shoe, what's it, the other shoe drops, whatever that term is, and then people start getting the full information, people are gonna look at Jalen Hurts like, okay, what about you? Because I don't buy that shit about, oh, he's just all business and all that. Jalen Hurts, to me, my comp for Jalen Hurts is Russell Wilson. Now it's a little bit different because Jalen Hurts, he didn't marry a stepmom. He got way more hoes than Russell Wilson. He's literally like the polar opposite when it comes to hoes. But I always said I don't trust that situation that Jalen Hurts has, having a whole female, a female agent, a female PR team representative, a female this, that. I don't trust that. I don't trust it. I think that might, because Joe Burrow was able to get away with it. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to be able to get away with it because eyes are already on Jalen Hurts, because a lot of people are still not sold on him when it comes to his QB play. So he still has that spotlight on him. I don't think he's going to be able to get away with what Joe Burrow got away with. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but his time is coming. No disrespect to Jalen Hurts. But just to let you know, I'll show you the other swap list suspects that I had, right? We had Messi. I had Messi. Number 6, I had Tim Pool. His time is definitely coming because he dudes that be in these long-term relationships and then they end up marrying the girl is usually like 2 or 3 years later. Shit hits the fan. And then yes, Anton Daniels was swap list suspect number 7. I did not expect that to happen so soon. It's crazy how that works, right? It's crazy how that works. So he was my number 7. And then number 8, and lastly, people were really shocked about this when I said when I said J. Cole. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. I don't want to get into the specifics on his situation, right? And plus, I don't want no smoke with Rock Nation. I know Rock Nation is no joke, Rock Nation is no joke. But I did tell you guys I do have to edit my list. I have to add Abba to the list because he was very unexpected to take that L this year. But yeah. But anyways, let's get into. Let me see if I'm missing anything else on my Twitter before we get into this Corey Holcomb interview with Paul Pierce and the usual outspoken feminist Azar Farideh. I hope I'm saying her name right. But I'm gonna check on my Twitter one more time. By the way, like I said, I'm gonna be more 100 on my channel. I'm just gonna be speaking just straight from the heart, like just straight from the heart. No holds barred. Like I hold back actually a lot on this channel. People might actually they might be shocked when I say stuff like that, but I actually hold back a lot on this channel. Right. Let me see if I can find something real quick. Let me see. I'm just gonna look at my Twitter one more time through my bookmarks. I'm not gonna let you wait, hold on. Oh. Nah, I'll hide it for now. I'll hide it. Let me see if there's something else I should show you. Oh yeah, did I do a video on this girl? Did I do a video on this girl? I didn't. I don't think I did a video on this broad. I apologize to you guys. I was supposed to do this video a long time ago. I'm talking about like literally last month. I know this when she went viral. This girl, remember she kind of went viral. Is this regular chick that went on a date with the Pirates pitcher, Chris Davensky. Is basically a regular chick, but she happened to meet the Pirates pitcher via Tinder or Hinge or something like that, and she basically put him on blast for trying to, just trying to hook up with her. And she not only did she embarrass herself, but she showed the problem with like with modern dating in general. But I don't think I might not. I don't think I have to play it because I know you guys saw this. But it's chicks like her is why guys, when people ask why don't professional athletes, get with regular chicks, it's because of it's because of Jewish bitches like her. Anyways. No disrespect, right? Anyways. Yo, I'm just saying, like, I don't even really want to play her voice because she was so annoying in the whole in this whole video. She really pissed me off. Because I'm like, they just can't fathom why people don't want to deal with people like why men don't want to deal with women like this. Where you have a bitch that's literally a 4 max, because this is her with the makeup, and she's a 4. Maybe I would not give her a 5. I would not give her a 5. That's crazy work. Bitch like this, man. I'll play a little bit of her.
So I'm on my way home from a date, and this date was with a Pirates player. He I didn't go into this date thinking like he's gonna be a really good guy, like I had the right expectations. So I get this date, we just got coffee, very casual date. He asked me if my pants, I'm wearing cargo pants. He goes, "Oh, are those comfortable?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Are they easy to get off?" I go, "Yep." "Sure." And he goes, "All right, nice, easy access." I go, "What, for on the fucking street right here?" So he starts referencing sex and stuff.
This is why athletes, celebrities, they don't date chicks like this, or even if it comes to hookup, they don't hook up with chicks like this, man. This is why they get high-end escorts. This is why they'll pass around the same, there's certain industry, you got industry chicks, or you have uh certain chicks, and what's it, MK Ultra type chicks that they'll just mess with. And they'll just pass around those same sex kittens. You know what I mean when I say that? Like, because bruh. This is what happens when you try to date a normie chick. They don't know how to handle that, and they put you on blast and make you look crazy.
And then he goes, let's have a staring contest, and let's let's see. He goes,
like, imagine getting put on blast with a bitch that looks like this. That's I could not do it. I could not do it. That's crazy work.
Winner gets a prize. And I go, okay, if you win, what do you want? And he goes, a kiss. I go, of course it is. And he goes, what do you want? And I go, a second date. I don't want a fucking second date. I don't want a second date. So he so we do. He's like, best 2 out of 3. I go, okay, cool. So I lose the first one. I have contacts and naturally dry eyes, so I lose. And then he goes, all right, let's add something to this. He goes, if I win, I'm adding something to it. If I win this one, you have to drive me back to my place.
Yeah, there's no way. I can't. I'm just. I hate bitches like that, bro. Like, for real. Yeah. I can't even stand her voice. But anyways, let's go straight into the interview. I'll probably do a full video on that Pirates pitcher situation with that broad. But yeah, people can't. They're like, why don't these guys? They always they passing around Ruby Rose and what's the other bitch? Selena Powell. And by the way, I don't even know why people be mad at bitches like that. Like, the Bonnie Blues of the world. Well, Lily Phillips, I think she just got baptized. So I'm trying to think of these other broads, these pass arounds names. I'm trying to think. But yeah, you got like your industry pass around chicks, or you got the industry pass around chicks that guise themselves as musicians or artists, but they're pass arounds, right? But this is why guys will mess with just those chicks, because they can't can't deal with, they don't have time for that shit. He says the mods are on point. Oh, no. So the CGA's mods, they're weirdos. A lot of them. I don't know. Some people, they see that tool mark next to their name, and then they turn into something. I don't know what's good with that. Like Corey Holcomb at one point, he had mods and he said, I can't do this shit no more. People getting blocked in the chat, and I'm like, nah. I've seen people in this chat. I'm not gonna say any names, but I've seen 2 people. It was one dude from the Warband, and then one of my dudes go at it over literally nothing. And we were talking about I guess age of consent or something like that, and somebody misconstrued what one of the Warband members said, and then now they blocked each other. And then both of them snitching on each other. Look at what this weirdo did to me, Chris. And I'm like, the fuck? I just saw both of y'all arguing over nothing. But yeah, the CGA's mods and CGA himself, he can be a bit sensitive, so he'll block certain people just for disagreeing. Mind you, the only person that I'm going to block on my channel is if you're spamming pornography websites, those websites, those cam websites. If you're spamming those links in my chat, then it should really be picked up automatically by the system. But if it doesn't get picked up automatically, then I will block you. But I'm not going to block anybody in the chat. Not over a difference of opinion. That's not gonna happen. Right. I hope that's a thing that can continue on. But yeah, some people they take the job a little bit too seriously, and they just end up just blocking people that they don't like themselves. But the CGA will block certain people. Like I remember he blocked I think he blocked Hammerhand or something, and Hammerhand was mad about that shit. Oh man. I don't know if he blocked Chronic. I don't remember, but I remember he did block Hammerhand or something like that. Right. But anyways, we'll get it. That is another conversation for another day. He says I am shadow blocked. He says so XVY Jay-Z says I'm actually blocked from chatting on CGA's thing. Yeah, it's weird. Some people are weird. Like some chats, they're weird like that. You said like one dissenting thing, and then they will block you or try to block you. Oh man. Yeah, chatty patty normie woman. Yeah, that woman, she really, I was just like, ugh, good Lord. I already know like women like her, I already know like other women can't even stand her. I like, oh my God. She found the one dude with a little bit of clout that finally slid in her DMs, or the one dude with a little bit of clout that finally wanted to have sex with her, and she just wow. Yeah, women like that is like bruh. But that's a whole other story. XY Jay-Z also says I like CJ, but he's definitely sensitive. I type Coach Greg Ruckus on his anti-black rant. But by the way, I'll say this: I'm sensitive myself, right? I remember me and Pyro, we were talking about this. Like I'm sensitive as well. But one thing I think people need to do, we need to acknowledge we're sensitive people. People can be sensitive, including me, right? I grew up a very sensitive kid, but people didn't care. People were still giving me, hell, right? So I developed thick skin, not really out of just out of normal circumstances. I didn't have a choice but to develop thick skin, right? But I'm still a sensitive person. But you need to acknowledge your, that we could be soft at times. We could be sensitive. We could look at things the wrong way, right? But people will just like they won't acknowledge it. They'll just act like, oh, I'm that ninja, right? and then all this stuff. But then somebody will say one dissenting thing, and they will lose their mind. One dissenting thing, mind you. I've had people that have literally gone out their way and say, "I'm gonna report your channel," and I still don't block them. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I grew up on the school of Corey Holcomb. He don't be blocking ninjas in his chat. He's been doing that recently, but that's what I saw. I'm not gonna be blocking people in the chat. Now, what I will do is like if you a girl, like if I dealt with you and things don't work out, I will block you like that. I'm not gonna block the public from an opinion. But like, say if you a girl that I mess with and things didn't work out, okay, all right, thank you, but thank you. See you next time. Block. I remember. I think I told you guys the story where when I was messing with that older chick, and she lost her mind. She like she lost her mind over me blocking her. I told her exactly same. XYJC says I do block women for playing games. Like, yeah, if you out here playing with my time and say, oh, I'm gonna show up here, or I ain't gonna show up anymore, or you doing too much and all. And as soon as you start talking about I can't do this, or you say you're gonna show up here and you don't show up, And I'll be like, oh, why you show up? Oh, my cat, uh, I needed to, I need to water my fish. I needed to iron my plates. And you give me one of them excuses. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. I don't think this is gonna work out. And then I'll just, and I'll move on. But there's one older chick. She flaked on me. I think, yeah, twice. She flaked on me twice. And I was like, and I told her in my text, I was like, I don't think this is gonna work out. And she's like, yeah, I think so as well. Now, I was like, okay, perfect. So I go and then I block. All of a sudden, I get next time I bump into my cousin, and my cousin is saying that, oh, she said that you was being emotional and all this stuff. I was like, when was I emotional? And I'm like, with who? And then I was like, oh, it's like this is the chick. Apparently, she was all up in my cousin's ear talking about I was being emotional, I was doing this, and I was like, that did not happen. But I realized what happened. It was when I blocked her. She's used to just ninjas just chasing her and stalking her and all this stuff. I remember she was joking about that shit. A lot of bitches, they're really used to just being chased. Like I don't have time for that. And I definitely don't have time, and I definitely don't have time, or I definitely do not appreciate being lied on like that. That's crazy work. That now I was like, okay, we're dealing with a woman in her late 30s, or what's it, early 40s, and you clearly have the mind state or the mental state of literally a teenager. I can't have that at this point. But Chris, you don't understand. Her son, I don't care. That has nothing to do with me. The fuck. Good Lord. But anyways, I'll block hoes with the quickness when they start playing with my time, because we grown out here. We not stupid. Stop. Stop playing, man. But anyways, shout out to the Truth After the Dark podcast. This will be a lesson, in my opinion, on what niggas is supposed to do with bitches like this, right? Because Azar, she is usually a very outspoken feminist, but a lot of people acknowledge that she was oddly very quiet in this particular episodes. She wasn't really combative, but that's not your, as a man, your job is not to debate hoes like this. You're supposed to just say what you mean and mean what you say and stand on it. You know what I mean? And there's going to be several demonstrations in this podcast of what a man is supposed to do, especially when a woman asks a man about your controversial past or what you've been through. She's even going to ask Corey Holcomb about the situation with the TMZ video of him allegedly putting the hands on a woman, and he just stands on his square. How the way most men are not going to. Most men are going to be apologizing and trying to convince you that I'm not that type of guy. He just goes, look, I'm not no bully, but this is what this bitch did to me. But shout out to Corey Holcomb and Paul Pierce and Azar. What's her last name? Azar Farid. We're just gonna call her Azar.
That's what I say to some men. Do you really know how to pick a woman? I don't know how to pick a woman.
Another episode of The Truth After Dark. I'm your host, Azar Farideh.
Your boy, Paul Pierce.
And our next guest is someone that you guys have been asking for a long time. He is known for keeping it real and unapologetic every single time he grabs a mic.
Now, let's get right to it. We that bitch lied. No, I'm just as a matter of fact, maybe she did. What we're about to talk about. But we talk.
So they're gonna start off talking about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. So this is the first part. Yeah, this is the first part of the interview. They're gonna go right into, look, yo, Corey, How did you know that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was lying about being a doctor? XY Jay Z says, I block dudes for Dirty Mac, and I've had one dude I met overseas that was cool. He said, thought was cool. We only had one mutual friend. When I met him a few days later, we had 44 mutual friends. Dude was going through my women followers and following them. I blocked him immediately. Oh, do dudes really do that? What the fuck? Wow. Dudes really be doing that shit? Damn. Now that's some crazy work. I ain't even gonna hold you that. I've never heard of people doing that. So dudes will follow you and they'll follow all your female followers. I didn't know niggas was doing that. So dudes is doing that. Wait, hold on for a sec. Wait, let me get a timeout. I need a timeout real quick. Hold on for a sec. Let me get a quick timeout. Let me. Wait, so Pyro says dudes do that in Jamaica. What? So dudes will follow you on Instagram and then they will follow all the how can you even keep track of that? Wait, so he was going through because I don't know, because I'll say this on my Facebook. Well, you guys see my Twitter. I only follow like 9 people. Right? I only follow like 8 people on Twitter. Facebook, what I do is if you look familiar and I've talked to you in person, if I know you, then I will follow you back. Or if it looks like that I talk to you, or we because there's a lot of people I've done gigs with, and then I'll see them on Facebook. I'm like, oh, okay. When it comes to female followers, I don't really try to follow a whole bunch of females just in general, unless if I need to know you. You know what I mean? To follow you specifically if you're a woman. Because I don't really follow any of the my old Instagram account. It had all my my high school guys, the high school girls that I went with. Like I don't. Damn. So people really be. Wow. Okay. So Pyro says, and you better not have a lot of women phone numbers in your phone, because once they glimpse through that, they get everything. What the fuck? This is dudes is weird. Okay, look. There is no way. Dudes is weird. Dudes are weird. Okay, this is weird. So this is the shit that females be talking about that dudes be doing. Okay, so this is I guess this is the confirmation. I can never look. I have a lot of flaws. I talk about like flaws worse than this, but I cannot see myself doing this. Like I've never heard of no shit like this. I'm not saying this is the most evil shit in the world, but I'm like, this is weird. That's some peak, weirdo behavior. I've had some things that I've done in my past where I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. Ainsley actually knows a couple of those things. I ain't even gonna hold you. But this right here, I cannot co-sign this. This is crazy. If there's any men listening to this, if you are out there on Instagram using your homeboy's Instagram and then following all the females that he follows, what part of the game is this? This is my first time of hearing about this. This is crazy work. So XVY Jay-Z says, yeah, that was the first time that happened to me. So just be careful. He says, I'm talking about IG. I use my IG as a dating app. So I'm more cautious meeting new friends. As Drake said, no new friends, no new friends, no new friends. Oh, I remember I met this one. Yeah. Like I remember I've set up. It's girls I met literally arguing with me. This is what back in the day where I used to actually argue with people via Instagram over this stupid shit. It was a couple girls that and like for some reason they would follow me just to argue with me, and then we would find out that we live in the same state, right? Like I remember specifically 3 girls. They was mad at me at what I said on Instagram, and then they, whatever. And then somehow the conversation turned into, wait, do you live in Connecticut? Like, oh shit. I'm like, wait, I'm playing here. You wanna you wanna argue some more in person? And then they would show up. Like I remember one or two. Yeah. Well, I'm confident to talk about one of them. One of them actually, like, we went on a whole date, right? And we literally met arguing via shade room. And then just the conversation turned into something way different. Like way different. But I ended up blocking her, we met in person. We got along, but things didn't really work out. So I ended up, blocking her. No disrespect to her. But I ended up kind of catching on that she was kind of broke and she needed a place to stay. It is no disrespect towards her, but I kind of caught on. I was like, oh shit. Like a lot of the times you'll meet certain girls and all of a sudden they start being more receptive to you, but you really need to check if, like, okay, her lease is about to be up, or she just got kicked out of her parents' crib or something, and now she's a lot more humble and shit. Anyways, let me leave that alone. Because it's some people that I've dated that they'll be watching what I be saying on my channel, and then they'll be like, wait, Chris, so you said, I'm like, oh, come on, I don't want to hear this shit right now. Oh man. But anyways, that is a different part of the game right there. That is a different part of the game. That shit, that's crazy. So dudes is out here, you'll meet up with a dude and you think y'all are getting along, and he'll go through your female following. That's weird. That's just weird. That's weird. That's weird. Wow. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. But anyways, let me bring this back. That's crazy work right there.
About something that you talked about years ago about Miss Cheyenne Bryant, because you refused to call her a doctor, and now everything is coming to light. You have some choice words about her. So, what's your thought on the whole thing blowing up right now? I mean, you said this a long time ago, and nobody listened, or half the people heard and didn't want to hear it. What's your thoughts on this?
It ain't like I felt like, I told you, I just was, I don't know. See what it is when I went on Cam Newton.
Right.
It was a little bit right after she went on there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what happens out here, man. We out here still walking around amongst the people in the street.
Right.
And it's people in the street who knew this lady. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm like, okay, which I would never say names because these people ain't even in the game or nothing no more. They just regular citizens. Right. They knew her. And they was like, I can't believe she pulling it off. And so when I heard more history about this girl, because I saw her years before on a podcast we did before she was even built or shaped like that. You know what I'm saying?
This is when he first met her on the Zoe What show. I've already showed you guys that.
I'm just keeping it a buck. And so I was like,
and she did have a different shape. She did have a little bit of a different shape. She did get some work done on her body. She showed I remember she was showing off her bikini, whatever, just recently she was showing off her basically half naked, when all else fails, the women, they'll just take off their clothes. That's what they do. And she definitely got some work done.
The liberty of saying what I knew on Cam show. And I don't know, I kind of watched what I said on Cam show. I wasn't like outright fuck that bitch and nothing like that. But I was saying, oh, that's a cap and all like that. But it turned into somewhere it seemed like I got hate for somebody. I don't wish that girl to be going down in no way.
Right.
But as I found out more about psychopathic behavior, and we look at psychopath like it's a word one way, but a psychopath, the definition of a psychopath, she checks all the boxes.
Wow.
She checks the boxes. I encourage people to look up what a psychopath is, because I broke it down on my show yesterday, and she checks a lot of the boxes for a psychopath. I just don't see her feeling no remorse for nothing that she's done.
Right.
And she knows she was capping. It ain't like she was like, all right, well, look, I'm out here trying to get it or whatever. She just was like, fuck y'all, if you got a problem with it.
Yeah.
Like, yo.
I mean, I didn't really go all the way there when we had her on the show, but everybody knew what I was saying.
I was a gentleman, dude.
I was a gentleman about it. You know.
This is some interesting stuff. Hold on, I gotta see this. Psychopath. A psychopath is someone characterized by a persistent lack of empathy, shallow emotions, and egocentric manipulative behavior. While often associated with criminal deviance, not all psychopaths are violent. They frequently mask their traits with superficial charm to exploit others without feeling guilt or remorse. Yeah, that's a perfect definition of Miss Cheyenne Bryant. Psychopath, lack of guilt. Let me see this right here. It says lack of guilt, remorse, empathy, pretending to feel emotions, inability to form true emotional attachments. Yeah, that's definitely tend to be successful. Yeah, you could be like, it was 2 weeks ago, Corey Holcomb was talking about he was actually more upset with the public than the alleged Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. He was like, how are y'all falling for this? But, particularly Americans, we tend to fall in love with charismatic characters, and we won't do the background research, but because they have charisma or they look good or they look the part, they'll get the part, even though they can't do the part, but that's a whole other story for another day. So there's a lot of successful consmen out here that have been able to pull it for cons men, cons women, right? But anyways, another trait of a psychopath is dishonesty. So the doctor title, manipulative behavior, narcissism, and superficial charm. Yeah, this is Dr. This is the alleged Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. That is definitely her. Astute point by the great Reverend Corey Holcomb.
I ain't trying to drag nobody. Everybody out here trying to eat and everything. It's all just like, well, I was just like kind of like, I know you from Long Beach. I know you.
Man, look, people who know, they know.
Yeah, you know.
We do this explaining for everybody who, you know what I'm saying? We just call them the regular folk.
Right.
Come on, we know. Stop.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but you had a very strong opinion on it, and now that it's all coming to light, and that she's bearing the weight of the world, people all on her. And
I don't hate that lady.
Yeah, I don't
use the word hate on me.
No.
I don't hate her, but if somebody lying, I might say you lying if I know you lying.
Right.
Yeah, you also said she was a lesbian. Right?
Yeah, that's out there too. I wish she would challenge me on that, because I'm telling you, there's some people who used to be out here in the streets with her, and if I drop names, she'll probably just shut up, because everybody ain't in the streets like they used to be in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I said I never said for sure like you're this, but
by the way, a lot of these security guards, a lot of these limo drivers. Remember we had like last year we were talking about Caitlin Clark, and we had a female limo driver confirm what I said. She said that I don't know if she was a limo driver or she knew somebody. Anyway, she confirmed what I said, that a lot of these rappers, a lot of these entertainers, they end up getting exposed because the limo drivers or the security guards, they don't really keep secrets. Because these entertainers, they'll be straight in public, but then in the limos, they be in there with their lovers, and they be acting a fool in the back. Them limo drivers, they be knowing too much. The chauffeurs, the limo drivers, the security guards. So when Corey Holcomb is saying the streets, that's that's what he's referring to, right? So yeah, it was a hey, that's what he's referring to. There's a lot of people in those positions that know a lot. They know a lot, especially these entertainers out here. We can't name names, man. We can't name names. Even in like literally in my position, I know. Yeah, the hotel concierge. Like these people know a lot. Anybody that works at a hotel, forget a motel. Anybody that be working front desk at the motels, boy, I already know they see everything. They see the type of people that be coming in and out of these spots. What you people? I'll say this. I can't tell you all the jobs that I've had, but I know people that knew certain people that work at the motels, the hotels. They see everybody coming in and out. Nobody's sneaking in. So they see who be coming in. They see who be coming out. Bruh. They know a lot more than you think. It's people is and mind you, these people they'll see celebrities, they'll see FBI agents, police officers, married folk, pastors. How about that, dude? I remember, man. Even like I remember when I was working at the movie theaters, and I was working the front desk, whatever. When you're working jobs like that, you'll see people with their boyfriends, their girlfriends, right, on dates. I remember I saw one of the church that my parents go to. I saw one of the dudes with their boyfriend, but he the dude that does one of the dudes that do music. I can't say his name, but I saw him with his boyfriend, and he recognized me at the front desk. I was like, "Hello, how may I help you? What movie are y'all watching?" Like that wasn't his friend, that was his boyfriend, right? And I was like, "Oh." He's really he mind you, he's a talented he's a talented person, but I was like, hey, what's up, man? You be seeing these dudes, boy. I remember I remember when I was working front. When I was working front desk and I was selling the tickets. I saw like a dude that I went to college with. I would have never thought he was gay. I would have never thought off of first glance. And then I saw him there. It wasn't just that he was gay. He was there with his white, like a significantly older white dude, and they were just, oh my god, they were all touchy feely and basically all. I was like, no. Nigga, my heart broke. I was like, no. Cause he's one of them niggas that I would see like at the library looking mad serious and studious, but he was like a big dude. Like one of the, afro dude had an afro, a light-skinned dude. He was one of those dudes I'd be like, oh, that I'd be seeing that nigga. I always be seeing him at the library, doing his studies and all that stuff. It's certain people you look at and you just you root for him. But man, I saw him there come into the movie theater with his. Oh, I was like, no way. Now he didn't recognize me. He didn't recognize me at the front desk, but I was like, get the fuck out of here. I could not believe it. That was probably my biggest shock. The church choir director dude having a boyfriend, that wasn't even a shock to me. But I remember seeing that. I was like, I would have never thought. Just looking at him, I would have never thought he was gay. Never. But you know what? Like, it wouldn't even have, like, say if he came in with a dude, like, just in general around his age, and they were just, I'll be like, damn, he's gay. But it was literally his white sugar daddy that he came in with. And oh my god, I could not believe it. You see all types of people in these spots, especially spots where people bring their significant other, right? So you talk about when you working front desk at the movie theaters, you working front desk at a hotel. You get one of those jobs or a place where people take their dates, one of these restaurants or whatever. Where I've seen people like they bring their wife, they bring their girlfriend, they bring their mistress. Like you, the streets, and then like hood niggas be working those jobs, mind you. Hood niggas be working those jobs, and you know, former divorcees and college teenagers, you know, like basically, you know, college people and teenagers be working there, but a lot of street niggas be working these jobs, you know. But anyways,
listen, I know who your little friend was who used to hang with you, so you know what I'm saying. Well, I don't know her. I'm saying it's been explained to me who that is, and it all makes sense.
On your podcast, you put a picture up with the girl that you probably co-proclaimed for us to ask about her. And
yeah, I think I did do that.
Yeah. I saw the clip.
Someone else to talk about it. I don't believe she would tell the truth about it. And once again, I don't have hate for that girl. I like the fact that I called her out. I thought it was funny.
Right.
Because I'm a comedian.
Right, absolutely.
Over everything else.
Right. What you say, man?
Pyro says, why do they expose them? It's just eventually it happens, man. Sometimes just conversation happens and you just be like, oh shit. Well, I remember I saw whoopty whoopty whoop, right? And then names get passed around. And sometimes when enough people say something similar, there might be some truth to it. Right? But when you work these jobs, you just see you see everything. Remember Ainsley was on here and I was telling him all the broads that was cheating, that was doing it, and then he was telling me all the broads that I would have never thought was cheating. They were cheating as well. Like it's always something new that you can exchange, like the information that you end up finding out. It's just like, wow, you know. But yeah, there's some people, they just get exposed out here, especially if you're living a lie. XY Jay-Z says Fresh exposed LeBron for cheating on his wife. But like that's not like, yeah, you know, that's, I don't even care about that, you know, because you know, people have their public persona and then what they put out there and then what they do behind closed doors. Like at the end of the day, we all know LeBron got hoes. We not stupid. You know what I mean? I could care less. Now people will be like, well, you know, he needs to stop putting on a persona that he just be with his. Look, bro, like who gives a fuck? Now, because it wasn't just Fresh. It's been a lot of people that have come forward. Well, LeBron be fucking bitches. Like they really expect, like that's not breaking news. Like especially at the, like somebody like LeBron, does pussy really even mean it? Like does pussy even really do anything for LeBron at this point? at his literally, does pussy really even do anything for LeBron at this point? I'm really and I'm low key, I'm kind of putting something else out there in the atmosphere by saying that, but that doesn't shock me. Like I've seen people go out their way to be, oh, you think LeBron ain't fucking? Oh yeah, of course he's fucking O's. That's not. I don't doubt that. You know. Somebody said, "Oh yeah, some Miami blonde white girl." I'm pretty sure there's a blonde white girl in every state that he be fucking with. Like, I could care less, you know.
I was gonna say,
like that's really to be expected. To be quite honest with you.
What encouraged you to even like blast her in that way? You know, because I feel like as Black women, we experience being teared down a lot, you know? And so as a Black man, what would influence you to want to call her a lesbian or call her out, even if that's her personal business?
If you step to the game with a lie, I'm telling you, people gonna let you have it, especially people like me, because I do comedy for a living. And if you are lying about something as serious as being a doctor amongst the people, I'm going to say something about it. And I can't help it. And
when she came out with the, oh, why you trying to, it's another black woman. Why you trying to tear down another black woman down? Thank you, Corey Holcomb, for not falling for that trap and just say, look, if you are a liar, you're a liar. He didn't have to be like, well, what if I said this about another black? Nah, don't even entertain what she trying to put out there. Stick to what you say. Look, she a liar. I be calling liars out. That's what I do. So shout out to Court. That was a pro move right there. That's a move of a veteran. This is the stuff that I try to encourage you guys to do, to take this route instead. Sticking to your square. Keep it. Don't lose the focus, because she's just trying to take it. She's just trying to take the focus off of her being a liar, and now she's trying to focus on, well, why are you trying to tear down another black woman? Don't even entertain the. Don't even entertain that. Don't even entertain. You don't even need to bring black women up to even make your point again. Just stick to your point. She a liar. She got caught. End of discussion.
I can crack jokes about that while I'm on stage, especially with it being a hot topic now. I might have some jokes this weekend about that, because it's just a hot topic. It trends. Right. We all go through it in the media. I was going through it in the media a couple of months ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the end of the world. I think she should sell a book on how to hide your identity, because her identity of who she was 10 years ago and beyond is gone. I want to ask her, how did you do that? How did you hide how you used to look and everything so good? Because you did a great job at that. I would buy that book instantly if she could show how she hid her past. There is no 2002 and stuff like that. The sister online.
No records. Okay.
They got rid of all that. That was good. That was good. You good. I'll buy that book.
So you hear that, Miss Cheyenne Bryant? Corey does not hate you. He just, facts are facts. That's just what it is. And
on the Breakfast Club, she said something that was interesting, where she act like people who don't like you and all like that. All these therapists that are out here speaking and taking up for their profession, it's not that they don't like you. It's just people speak on it. Stop acting like a victim. You're not a victim. You lied. If everybody who thinks that you're lying is wrong, it's very easy to fix it. But I don't think you can fix it.
Like Corey, we live in a world in a time right now more than ever it's a complete, everything's a lie.
Yes.
Every goddamn thing is a lie. I mean, you seen the Chinese man who had a kid with the lady, and the kid came out ugly, and the lady had the plastic surgery, and he was like, oh no, I thought you looked a certain way. We live in this, like, plastic surgery is normal. Yeah. Boob implants, breast implants, nose, eyes, face, nails, everything for the women, everything. We live in the fakest world ever in the history of mankind right now. And it's just like, it's been going on, it's accepted. It's like got to the point till we don't give a damn because everything ain't real.
Well, it's scary to me. I mean, like, I'm a loner. I'm by myself most of the time. The only time I'm around other people is like when I do my podcast or when I'm working, or maybe if I have purchased female company.
Right.
That's when I'm around.
You purchased it.
Purchased female company.
Okay.
I don't like all that setup. We in a relationship. No.
I ain't mad at that.
I'm going to rent you, and you're going to take it because you need it.
Okay. Also, shout out to Corey. Corey Hogan's been talking about that shit for years. By the way, I hope CJ doesn't think that Corey stole that from him as well, because CJ be thinking everybody's stealing from him. Just to let you know, Corey Holcomb's been talking about this. That's been his shtick. Talking about buying pussy for over 20 years now. Over 20 years. That's just been his shtick. All right. So CJ, I hope you're listening. That's he's been doing that for a while now. Unfortunately, I think CJ, as much love I got for him, I don't want him to go down that Tommy Sotomayor route where Tommy thinks everybody's stealing from him. Meanwhile, Tommy's got caught stealing from multiple comedians, but that's a whole nother story for another days. But shout out to Corey here.
Where you go to girlfriend.com?
No. I go.
That's an inside joke. I said that a long time
I don't
ago.
like doing it online. You just go where there's poverty. This is my thing.
So you just pick them up off like Fig?
Yeah, where's Fig Road? That's what. Not the whole stroke.
Yes,
at one time people used to patronize the streetwalkers. But now in this economy, the girls who think they're not streetwalkers are affordable, and you see that they're frustrated that they have to do that. But I can fuck through it.
Damn.
Wow.
Which is most women in America. Let's keep it a buck. Most women are not. First of all, most of us in general, we're not doing well financially, no matter how much we're making. It's only a small percentage of dudes that's really, people in general that are doing well in this, especially in this economy right now. And now, especially when it comes to the women, most people, we need some kind of financial assistance. You need a roommate in this economy. You need somebody to offset these costs. And most of the women that are fronting on the states, sorry, most of the women that are fronting on IG acting like they're making it, they're getting patronized by guys like Corey in the background. But they're just not going to put that out there. Like, I remember I saw a video from Clavicular, and he was like, "Why? How are these hoes able to afford this rent in Miami?" He's like, I see these hoes living in the same place I'm living in. It's like, bro, you haven't put two and two together. They're either doing OnlyFans or they selling pussy, or they're doing both. And I will say 8 times out of 10, they're doing both. You know, but the ones that can't really OD make it off of OF, they gotta sell. They gotta sell their box. That's how they can afford to live the life that they're living, and then they sell it to somebody like a Corey. And these people will be lawyers. These people will be they'll have a regular job, but they're still selling box on the side. People think it's just a certain type of woman that's selling box or that's selling themselves to the highest bidder. Nah, it's just regular girls that you see. It's girls that you would have never thought that is selling box. I remember when I told Ainsley about the girl and that I found out she was like I'm talking about, she was doing it like she wasn't on no high end escort. Like, she was like back page selling box. And the girl that I said, he was like, there's no way she was doing it. I'm like, yes. I said, I said, I swear it. I literally said, I swear it. This was information that I found out. And it was the girl that he least expected. She was like, she's such a sweetheart. I'm like, yep, that girl.
Okay.
I'm not mad at that because you take out the headache. You take out the extra shenanigans that go in with trying to please somebody. You do what you need to do and you out of there.
I pray for men that aren't in transitional relationships. It should be transitional. It's just too many people that I know.
That's what a relationship is anyway.
Yeah, it is anyway, but some people are under the influence that somebody is with them for other reasons.
What is a transitional relationship?
Transactional.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
transactional.
okay.
I'm sorry.
I know
It's okay.
I know you meant.
Yeah, it's like I didn't watch some real nice guys lose everything,
Man,
because they thought that they knew how to pick a companion, a female companion, based off what they were feeling and thinking. And it's just like, I'm older now, so I'm not going to play the game. After I got out of my divorce, I was like, I'll never be in a situation where I'm scared what the judge is going to say and take everything I work for. That's crazy. If you really think about it, you know what's going to happen, but you're afraid this person will leave you. So you just sign your life away, because that's what a marriage is. If you just go somewhere and get married the traditional way, it's almost insane, in my opinion, to be married in the United States of America if you have something to lose.
Right.
So B. Watkins says the 6'5" billionaire Chad who looks like John Eric Hexum pays these 304s rent. Well, I disagree. It's not necessarily just them. It's truck drivers, UPS drivers, regular working dudes. They're the men in general, be it police officers, FBI workers. It's not just rich dudes that are paying for these women. It's plenty of dudes, it's a lot of married dudes out there in general. Tech workers, whatever, they got a little sugar baby on the side. You got dudes, dudes that are in sexless marriages, and then they'll have a bitch like that on the side. Or, you'll have, those, them crisis king ass niggas, the Christian dudes, these Christian married dudes patronizing OF workers, right? OF models, right? So it's all these dudes along with, the rich dudes or the rich, millionaires or billionaires, right? One of the things that to do, but I remember somebody made a suggestion. They said you need to find a sugar dating app and create a fake profile just to see the type of girls that make profiles on these websites. And somebody did do that experiment, and it was interesting what people were saying. People were saying in the chat or in this experiment, they were like, man, these are some ugly girls. These are some regular, I don't see no models in here. And I was like, that's the point. It's regular girls that are doing seeking arrangements. It's regular girls that are trying to be sugar babies. Women in their 30s, women in their 40s on that website trying to get quote unquote spoiled with an Amazon wish list. So he's right. At the end of the day, she's going to leave. B. Watson says, I already kissed her, so I have come to my senses, but still. But that's the point. You make one of those profiles and then look at the bitches on there. It's going to be bitches that basically, that are on these websites, that are on these sugar, on these dating apps, these so-called dating apps, these sugar dating apps. That's going to be a massive wake up call for the average man. If he makes a fake profile, he's going to see bitches that he knows. It's like, damn, you selling it too.
Now, if you ain't got nothing to lose, then y'all just go get it together. And maybe you feel better about it if you got to split it up later on. But if I step to you with all this and you coming to me in an Uber.
See, people talk bad about me when I said marriage is for broke people and old people. And now, like, every time we do an interview with people, I feel like I'm getting the same reaction. Like, if you got, like you just said, you got nothing to lose, okay, you can get married. Yeah. Okay, most poor people don't have nothing to lose. You old, you like, once you get old, it's like, I need help anyway.
Well, it's because you tell them about, are you talking about the girl at your job? Oh, man. But hopefully she's mature enough to handle that situation. Because like I said, things are not like how it was like in like 2016, 2017, where you just date the girl at your job and you'll be all right. I know he said, "Oh, it's another girl." Oh, that is it's whatever. As long as it's not the girl at your job. as long as not the girl at your job, then it's all good. He says breaking. Oh, so Henoch said breaking news: the ultimate cuck, the apprentice of Jack Murphy, the Zinc Lord, just. This is the Zinc Lord just filed divorce on his wife, the Corn Realities show salute, Lena the Plug. Oh, you talking about Adam 22. Adam 22 just filed for divorce from Lena the Plug. Okay. Let me see. It's probably trending on Twitter, but that doesn't surprise me. That was obviously, if that's eventually what's going to happen. I'll say this. I didn't know that they were like, oh yeah. I think I knew that they were married, but that's like, a situation like that. I never took that situation seriously in general, because they were both porn stars at one point. They were both porn stars, so I never expected that to work out, long term. Actually, let me be very careful. I was about to search that. I was about to search that up live. I was literally going to search up Adam 22 live on Twitter. Now I just realized actually that's not a good idea. So let me put it back here and I'm going to search it. Let me see, Adam. Actually, let me search it on my phone. Forget all that. We're going to search it on my phone first. to avoid the nonsense. Because Twitter's just wild. Twitter is wild. Let me see something here. Adam 22. Oh Lord. This is hilarious. So so as I'm okay, so let me this is funny. So they're saying let me see if I can save this post. Let me show this on Twitter real quick. Let me show this on Twitter. Shout out to Henoch for sharing the news. This is some funny stuff. So I'm looking at this caption. They're saying Adam 22 crashes out on live after his wife, Lena the Plug, filed a divorce on him after she caught him in bed with another man. And he blames it on her cheating. He says, Lena has slept with over 150 men, but when I do, it's a problem. She just filed a divorce for my money. This might be for some attention. I ain't even gonna hold you. But now I was saying this. Remember when Lena the Plug finally did like a scene with another man with Adam's blessing? And I always said the only reason why that was allowed to happen is Lena probably had some dirt on him. So I was thinking maybe, Lena has some dirt on him, probably messing with some underage girl or something like that, or he's been with another, him being another man. But at the same time, he is a male adult film star. So that's not shocking to me. You know what I mean? Him being in bed with another man. That's not shocking. I'm afraid to look at the replies though. I don't even want to look at the replies. I hope because
angry.
Am I angry?
That's what one of the questions was.
Come off that way?
That's what somebody asked.
I don't feel angry.
Most of these questions are really nasty. I don't think I would want to read some of them. So let's get somebody asked, are you gay? Another one.
No.
And then somebody just stated Adam 22 is gay.
God damn it.
Now one guy angry.
Am I angry?
That's what one of the questions was.
Come off that way?
Let me see if I can save another video. Yeah, I gotta be careful. Another quote from him says, I've made 30 million off that hoe. I'm more P than y'all favorite rappers. That cuck stuff was strictly for publicity. Okay. I got to do a little bit more research on this. Maybe this quote is not even real. This quote might not even be real. Let me look at, come on. Where's my bookmarks? Here we go. Wait, what the? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. So wait, hold on. Wait. Now they're saying that he committed self-deletion. Wait a minute. Hold on. They're saying that he committed self-deletion. Hold on. Wait, what is going on? So I'm going on Twitter. Now they're saying that he committed self-deletion. Wait, hold on. So Henoch said, my bad, his wife filed for divorce. He said, nah, Chris is another woman at my job. The issue is we had a date today, but I kissed her. And the issue is I think I screwed up because while she was trying to date me, I got to try to play politics nice at work. He says, all because I was thinking with my other hand. It's fine. Hey, it happens. It happens. It happens. We all mess up. Oh, let me see. He said, still a cuck even if it's scripted. Jason Love rubbing his hands like Birdman. He said Jason Love also got cucked, so he ain't got much of a pedestal to stand on. That is true. But for the people that don't know, Jason Love, he admitted that he found out that his 16-year-old daughter wasn't even his daughter just recently. So if it can happen to Jason Love, it can happen to anybody, any one of us. People think, oh, it's just because I'm not 6 feet tall and I don't have this. He said, I found nothing about Adam's self-deletion yet. This gotta be a parody page. Whatever this Max Switchy page, this has to be a parody page. This is a parody. This gotta be a parody page. Oh yeah, it's not that he's a parody. His page is strictly misinformation. His is a strictly misinformation page. I just looked at one of his clips. This is a page strictly for misinformation. Wait, it's what this? Okay. So now everybody just okay. What's official is that Lena the Plug did file. She filed for divorce from Adam 22. So that's the official thing. But I don't. Are we sure that's not a? Are we sure that's not another publicity thing? I don't know. It is what it is. Okay, so I'm seeing another tweet where they're saying that Lena caught him sleeping with a man. I'm seeing another tweet that's similar to this, where from another account where they're saying that Lena caught him sleeping with a man. Because that would make sense in terms of why Lena was allowed to do the stuff that she was doing on screen recently. Because before her scene with Jason Love, she wasn't doing like the scenes that she was doing. It was like she was only doing scenes with other girls. She wasn't doing scenes with men because she was with Adam at the time. And I always say this: the only reason why she was allowed to do that is because she must have had some kind of dirt. But I thought it was the dirt was like him sleeping with some underage girl or something. Oh man. He says Jason Love from Black. Yes, that guy. He said specifically his daughter, he found out wasn't his this whole time. B. Watson says there's always a more ultra giga Tyrone than other Tyrones. No, it's probably some sugar daddy or some dude with money. She was probably, because women, they be sleeping with multiple dudes at once and dating multiple guys at once, and then they'll get knocked up, and then she'll assume that her Tyrone knocked her up, but it was some other dude that she gave some sympathy punani to, and it ended up being his baby. Like, a lot of women out here, they don't have good box management skills, Yeah, he said it's hard to tell because you can pay TMZ. So I don't know if that's like a real. You can't really tell because with the TMZ headline, let me see this. Let me see if I can save the TMZ headline and show you guys. Because you could easily pay TMZ for some things. So let me take this off my bookmarks because that account is strictly misinformation. But yeah, that's what's official. The official story is Lena the Plug. She filed the divorce. But anyways, oh man. He says most of these weirdos can't even really be considered a couple because to them it's all business. Facts. He says this could be true, but it could be an amazing marketing strategy to bring traction to their social media. Exactly. That's what I think. Big Waska says that at the end, these people have no shame, so take what happened with a grain of salt. It could just be a stunt. He says DNA test your baby gents. Trust no salutes. Yeah, people were shocked when they found out that Jason Love got cucked like that. They were like, "What?" He said, "How?" He said, "People were like, how did that happen to him?" Yeah, that can happen to anybody. I keep. Because we already know, because women they'll be messing with multiple dudes. They're told by their moms, their aunts, and they don't be with just one dude. They be exercising their options, and then while exercising their options, they'll get knocked up, and then they'll just be like, "It's yours." That's technically how it used to happen back in the days too. People don't really want to talk about that, but that's that was happening back in the days as well too. They just had to hide that they were messing with multiple dudes, because if they got knocked up and she was messing with multiple dudes, both of them would ditch her ass. If they found out that they weren't the only man that she was sleeping with, both of them would ditch her. That's another part of the game. A lot of women, they won't admit that they was messing with multiple dudes. Both of the dudes found out and both of them ditched him. Or one dude found out, the beta found out, and he was like, "I'm not taking care of your bastard kid." And it probably was his kid. But he found out that she was sleeping with another man, and he's like, "I'm not taking care of another man's baby." But there was no DNA test back in the day, so he couldn't confirm. He would just assume, "Oh, that kid is probably not even going to be mine." So since there was no DNA test back then, that dude would just dip. But anyways, Henoch says, if God, Jesus, the rich, the famous can't please them, what chance do you have to please them? Tom Brady. Who else can we bring up? Because it was funny. People were like so shocked with that. They're like, how? He's like, but the guy's a corn star. How? That don't stop no. Just because she was probably messing with multiple pookies. Jason Love's alleged baby mother at the time, she was probably messing with a whole bunch of pookies. There's a lot of women like that, messing with a whole, like they don't just be messing with one pookie. And he was probably the one pookie that didn't mind being a father at the time. So he was just like, oh, okay. But when you see the stuff that's happening today, the way men are being cucked today. You start to understand what happened in the past when you will have women say, you'll have women say in the past, men were just abandoning us. No, that's not what happened. It was a lot. There was a reason why you got abandoned. Even the term abandoned, you see it with Rachel Wilson. What she said, what did she say? I got abandoned by my first baby father. No, he left you because you were messing with someone else. So he left you. He didn't abandon you. You were cheating. He caught you and he left. But you took it as, oh, he abandoned me. Or he found you. Maybe you weren't cheating on him yet, but you were entertaining another dude and he would not tolerate that. But now you're saying he abandoned you. No, that's cap. Pyro says in Jamaica, women like this just be giving you the jacket. Oh, that's why, in Jamaica, that's what they have a really large, paternity fraud rate. It's like astronomically large. He said Ray left Jason a gift, a grown gift. 18 years of your resources gone. I can't accept that. That's devastating, bro. That's devastating. That's devastating. 16 years. You raise a kid for 16 years, you find out you're 16 years, that's not your kid. That's devastating, man. That is devastating. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That's something, man. But anyways, we put it back to the Corey Holcomb.
Well, even when you get old, man, it's like, remember that old man who married that actress girl? She was a big, busty white girl.
Yeah, yes.
And anyway, she married one of them old Caucasian males in Texas, and you saw what happened to her and her son. So they had a way to fix all.
He's talking about the story of Anna Nicole, by the way.
She wasn't fit to take their family wealth.
Right.
You know what I mean when I say that? But I'm saying just the average Joe, if you get married nowadays, you are basically agreeing to sign what you have away to this person. Now, do you really believe in that person like that, or you just don't want them to leave? And not wanting them to leave is a real feeling. Yeah. Because if you love somebody, like especially like if a man love a woman, he might be willing to sign it all away just for the chance to keep her. But it's a cold world out here now. So if you fall for it, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing nobody can do to help you. You got to go through it and just be there for your people when they done robbing you.
So the rest of your life, you can't fathom it, marriage. There's no chance.
I'll never be in another government contract like that.
Not even like just a full blown.
Like I got somebody who's important to me that I care about.
Yeah.
And things are set up in a way where we have contracts. If something happens to me, she ain't got to worry about nothing. Because that's who I would leave it to. Anything I had. Because she got my back. And she's shown me she got my back. Nothing she said is what she does.
Right.
So life is still a gamble, but I gamble with her because of what she showed me.
What did I say in the last, was this the last episode about that?
It was the one before that you said about making a contract outside of the governmental agreement to get married.
No, like say if there's somebody there, just put her in the trust or put her in the wheel.
Yeah.
And then when y'all break up, you can take her out the wheel if it don't work out. It was something like that.
You come on, Paul, man. Look, I've been watching you, brother. I was a fan when I found out the guys knew you. I was like, you know what's up. Yeah, he's a gentleman, though.
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
and that's because they agree to deal with me because I am a kind individual.
Because I think it's not fair to lead someone on to feel like,
come on, mama.
And then years later, we're gonna be in court like this. Fuck you,
man.
Are you upfront with women like I'm not gonna get married? Because I think it's not fair to lead someone on to feel like they'll have that opportunity with you, and they don't.
I have a lot of women who are frustrated with me because they agree to deal with me because I am a kind individual. I do things for people, but women who I deal with know that I ain't dealing with one woman.
Let me rewind it real quick because I wanted to stick to that point. She asked one of those disingenuous ass questions. What do you say about the men that be leading on women in 2026, especially when it comes to the men that women are actually attracted to, whether it be the Chads or Tyrones, or I'll say particularly when it comes to the Chads and the Tyrones and the dudes with leverage in the dating market, they're not lying to the women for the most part, especially the women that are physically attracted to the guy. Those guys are not lying, not in 2026, and they're still pushing that narrative. What about the guys that be misleading women? They're just lying. At this point, women are just lying about that. They're lying. Most of the dudes that I've seen, actually, sorry, all of the dudes that I've seen in terms of that are dealing with girls that they're messing with, the only person that's kind of like running the game on the women, he's an artist, but all the other dudes, they're just that are where the girl finds the guy attractive, or the guy and the guy has leverage over her when it comes to his physical looks. They're not lying to the broad. They're not. I've seen these texts. I've seen people's text threads. I've seen I've seen dudes literally like, yo, Chris, look, I'm telling you, this is what I saw. This is what I sent her. I didn't lie. I told her that, yo, we just chilling, we just having fun. And look what she's doing now. She's trying to ruin my name. I've seen dudes, I'm not saying on the verge of tears, but literally, like, I told her everything. I told her everything up front. I told her about how I do my life, how I have multiple women. I've seen dudes literally just be like, what do I even do in this situation? I told her everything, and she's still saying that I played her. So any woman that's running that scam in 2026, she's lying. I'm just letting you guys know right now. Unless if she's dealing with some kind of some SoundCloud rapper, nobody's running game. Like, first of all, it's basically is now basically illegal to lie to hoes now to get pussy. So this shit, that I don't know why they're still trying to run that scam where, oh, dudes is playing out, they're playing us out here. No, that's cap.
And then years later, we're gonna be in court like this. Fuck you, man.
Are you upfront with women like, I'm not gonna get married? Because I think it's not fair to lead someone on to feel like they'll have that opportunity with you, and they don't.
I have a lot of women who are frustrated with me because they agree to deal with me because I am a kind individual. I do things for people, but women who I deal with know that I ain't dealing with one woman. That would be insane at my age. I mean, because everything I get, I look at it as blessings from God. I believe I would lose everything I had if I was lying to women and letting them know, or saying, yo, it's you. Nah, every woman I know knows that it's other women I deal with. I'm bold enough to say that, and I have lost people that I didn't want to lose because I was bold enough to tell them that. But they all come back later on anyway because it's a cold world.
Cold world.
Ain't nothing out there like, look, this might make a woman mad just by me saying this, but it's real out here. Most people can't make it off working a job and coming home with that one check and live the way they want to live, the way this fake internet life shows the life out here. So
put the mic up a little bit.
Yeah, when you hook up with a guy who can do some things, guys who can do some things, you're in a power position in America because there's a lot of poverty going on out here. It's just nobody says that.
You only mess with poor females,
so you can control them.
So you can control them.
Well, it's a lot easier to control somebody who can't control they way of going to the gas. There's a lot of girls who just don't have the money to do what they want to do. So I don't understand why you wouldn't hook up with a sugar daddy or whatever you want to call the guy. Somebody who talks to you transparently is what I would dream my daughter to be around.
Yeah.
You need to talk. You need to deal with somebody who's telling you what's up. And if you deal with him, don't be coming to me talking about, oh, he did that. I was like, wait, did he lie to you? Okay, well, be quiet. If you with him, you with him. There's no, the female victim syndrome is something that needs to stop because mostly everybody know what's up. You know when somebody cheating on you, even if they don't tell you. When you're a woman, you know. Come on now. Of course, it is some stupid people in the world who act like they don't know. Or if you really don't know, you need help anyway if you don't know. Damn. If you
That's
don't
not always
know,
true.
how do you live in this world? It's all.
That's 100% not always true. As a woman, I can talk and speak to that. There's a lot of men who create a representative when they meet you, and this representative shows up for a period of time. So a woman can fall in love with the representative, and after 6 months, they start to see the real person. At that point, you've already tricked and fooled someone to be in love with you. So their standards, their things change based off of the.
And we know that's just not true. In 2026 is not true. Dudes is not out here tricking women in 2026. You're not even allowed to. You can't even tell a bitch like you're not even allowed to lie about the money that you make anymore. Like you can get in trouble. Like you can get in trouble. You can get in trouble for grape if you misrepresent the amount of money that you make or misrepresent the occupation that you do to get a chick. So this whole, come on, I'm not buying that. XVY Jay-Z says, I'm considering the Mr. Organic route and not even having kids because now that women can use your kids against you. So for me, it's not just marriage on paper or not. It's also this kid. Well, that's why MTR, he's leaving, because what's the point of you making all this money, amassing, working hard and doing all this, and you basically now the part of your life where it's supposed to be something proud and open and you don't have to hide things and your assets and all this stuff. Now it's everything has to be on private because of thievery, of scammery, particularly in America. Like that's not a way to live. You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree. B. Watson says, mark my words, the government is going to make it so men have to make lifetime payments to surrogates and other BS, so you're basically a slave. I could see that happening. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, I even said similar where I thought that eventually they're gonna make it where they're like, no, you have to take care of a woman. I'm not saying like you have to marry her or even have sex with her. Like, you have to take care of one of these females out here. They're just going to make you, they're going to be like, okay, this is a group of women. You have to take care of 2 or 3 of them. Like almost like how you know how like they give you, remember those fake charities where you sponsor a kid? But it's going to be like a mandatory like type of sponsorship type situation in the future. I think that's what's going to happen. Pyro says, telling the truth will get you killed out here. He says, yeah, you said you're only there to smash, and you both agreed upon that statement and fulfilled it and stopped complaining. Hell no, I'm not taking care of no bum. He said, like in a decade, surrogacy will be regulated, that you have to take care of them even after they had the kid. Yep, I that's gonna happen. That's definitely, the way we're heading, I could definitely see that happening.
Love they feel for somebody. So you cannot say that men don't show up as representatives in relationships. Period, point blank. Like they don't want to lose the person. Just like you said, I don't want to lose this person, so I'm going to act like I'm the perfect man so I can have her fall in love with me. So I think that a lot of women have experienced that. And I do understand that some women play the victim and they don't take accountability. And I agree with that 100%. But we cannot forget about the large majority of men who lie to get what they want. And they're damn good.
What about the ones that don't lie? You got the situation.
That's not the law. It's a small percentage. It's a small percentage.
That, hey, listen, I'm taking care of that rent, and,
Yeah.
I see other girls right now, you know what it is. That's what he represented. You still going with it, but then you complain when.
Yeah, I mean, that's
else.
someone. So for me, I feel like a lot of women aren't. A lot of women aren't designed. A lot of women aren't designed to.
That's most situations. Most women are dealing with dudes that are either they are in a situation where they have a girl, or the guy has multiple girls. Is rarely a situation where the woman is with the guy and he has no broads. Women are not attracted to men that have no women. They're just not. It is what it is. They are either messing with a dude that has a woman, or he is a dude that can get multiple women. Whether he has a lot of money or he has a lot of stuff, like he's in a position where he can have multiple women, or he already has multiple women. Like that. This shit. Women are not looking for unattached men. They're not. So this whole shit about a fake representative and man changing up, no, you're just lying to yourself.
Operate in that space. So for me, for instance, I know for a fact that in that space, I'm not going to feel good. Even if I pretend to go along with it, I'm not going to feel good. So I don't put myself in those situations. If a man can't be committed to me, you're not going to be with me or fuck with me. That's me personally. If a woman feels like she is able to operate in that space with a man, get her bills paid because she's struggling that bad, I'm not struggling that hard. I'm never going to be that broke to mess with a man. So at the end of the day, if a woman feels like her, but they are.
Most women are.
So I wouldn't say most. Right now, we're actually, a lot of black women are more educated, more successful.
I didn't say black women. I said women.
Well, women are more educated. They have more money now.
Yeah,
and
but
that's
the opportunities just ain't there. Like, if you go to the club, 99% of the girls in there looking for a come up.
I could agree with that. I'm not even against that.
You know what I'm saying? Or they
don't even let them in the club that much no more because the ones that drag the club down by draining the clients and everything, they bad for business. And they act like you hating on them. You bad for business. But I want to say this in response to what she said.
Those are facts, mind you. And by the way, this whole shit where they bring up how I guess women are the most educated and they're making more money, it's literally pointless because they're not, by and large, those same women that are making more money, they're not taking care, they're not looking to take care of a man. They want to be taken care of. That's why it's pointless to cater or to build a system where you're promoting a large group of these people, whether it be, like particularly when you're talking about a large group of women to do this, to do that, to be bosses, to be this, because they're not, that money is not going to matriculate back into society. They're going to hoard it like dragons. You know how like you had the dragons, the stories of the folklore, how dragons will have all this treasure, but they don't use the treasure. They just hold it. They don't even use it. They just hold the treasure. That's what modern women are the dragons of today, right?
If somebody shows you that they are a liar or no good and you're only 6 months in, that's a blessing.
Yeah,
once you figure it out, and it ain't been for 6 months, because I know people who have been married for years and they didn't realize what it was till years into the commitment.
Yeah, I agree with that.
6 months is good.
I think 6 months is good.
As far as I go with women, though, I can only speak for myself. Most of the women I know all lied to my face.
Yeah, me too.
I'm saying, like, I'm not talking about hookers. The hookers were honest with me. But most of the women that I know all lied about who they were and everything.
They always do it at the beginning, too.
I'm serious.
Like, right out the gate. Like, for what? That's the perfect time to be honest. But like, you know.
Well, you lie a lot of times when you present yourself like take me for example. I got my beard black. It's dyed. So that's a lie. If you be honest about things, people lie about things in society, like you were saying. People come to you with a body that's been altered. That's a lie as well. But certain things you can be like, okay, well that's what come with it. But I'm trying to think of most of the women I've ever met dealing with, as far as I go with relationship, almost everyone lied to me and act like they didn't. Almost everyone. I got divorced and I was laughing because I used to feel so bad because I was never a man who been with one woman. I've never been that guy. And I used to lie to my wife in the beginning before I got to where I am now, man. I used to lie about where I been and everything. So I used to feel terrible. Really, I felt bad about being a man who, damn, this is my wife. I be lying to her about all this.
Yeah.
But in the divorce, I found out she had property that I didn't know about.
Oh, damn.
She had got she was in an accident with a police guy who was getting ready to retire. He ran into the back of the car. She got some money from that. And all this was a blessing because when the judge found all this, he said, look, you guys are even. You go your own separate way. I couldn't do nothing but laugh.
That's some cold-blooded shit. You think your wife broke and whatnot, but here she is hiding her own assets while trying to steal yours. That's crazy work. That's crazy work.
I was like, wow, I beat the game. Because you know out here, marriage means you owe somebody if you got some money.
Right.
Mine, all because of a lie.
Clean break.
All because of a lie. The judge didn't like that. So I don't get mad when people even lie to me.
Imagine the entitlement though, where they just already automatically they know, okay, I'm gonna divorce him and take half his stuff. This actually relates back to the Jalen Hurts AJ Brown situation, because they're saying allegedly Jalen Hurts' wife told AJ Brown's girl to leave him for cheating, and AJ Brown's girl said, no, I ain't gonna do that. But you already know what Jalen Hurts' girl what he's implying by saying leave him. She's saying leave him and take half of his shit. That's what she's implying. So that's the mentality that she has. So Jalen Hurts, you've been warned. if what they're saying is true, if that's true, Jalen Hurts, you've been warned. That's the girl you got. That's her mentality. This is some crazy work, man. Pyro says that's going to be a problem because society don't want men to get kids without suffering financially too much. They don't want you to do one and done, and avoiding marriage will hurt the family court. Family court ain't gonna be making the same type of money in the future, so they're trying to find a way. They've already squeezed as much as they can from the American public. Now they got to find another way to do it, you know. But anyways, I gotta actually, you know what? Because since I went 30 minutes past what I was supposed to do, and I am getting sleepy, I'm gonna have to do a part 2 of this. Let me see if I can get to the 30-minute mark when it comes to this conversation.
It's so rare that something happened where I really didn't know it was happening. Mm-hmm. And most of us who have common sense, you just got to think about that. You did not know. Most of the times, you just be like, okay, I don't want to stop messing with this person.
For real.
I don't want to stop messing with this person. So we let stuff go.
Oh, damn. I'm trying to think. Have I been in something like that? I don't know.
Hell yeah, you've been in stuff like that, man. No. Some of these girls, when you get attached to them, you tolerate stuff that you be like, this is crazy. Right. But I don't want to leave this person alone right now.
That got more to do with probably something sexual. That ain't got nothing to do about her.
You might have a point. But it ain't just because you sleeping with them. Sometimes you have a woman and you begin to care about her and you don't want her nowhere else. You don't want her in the streets, passing the box out. So the stuff you tolerate, you really humiliate yourself, but you can't get out of it. That's the power a woman has over a man. When you start to care about them, the stuff you let go, you be like, damn, I know I shouldn't tolerate this, but I just don't want this person to go.
Oh, nobody ever done that.
And it ain't no reason to feel stupid about it. You're a human being.
Women do that for men too.
Yeah, I've tolerated cheating.
No, they don't. And if women do actually do that for men, the type of men that they do it for are like despicable characters. Like, I'm talking about pure despicable. Like, when it comes to it's usually the girls that do that for men are the girls that are like 16 and they're dating like 22-year-olds, 24-year-olds, or guys in their mid-20s that are drug dealers. They do that, like they'll sacrifice their dignity for guys like that. But everybody else, no, they're not going to do that.
But not knowing who it was and all of that. I know I tolerated cheating one time, but I don't know the details or nothing, but I know it was some cheating going on and I tolerated it.
You bold to admit that? Because most people ain't got the courage to admit that.
Yeah, but only one time though. But that's tough. That's tough because women do it all the time, especially if they got a man that's taking care of them.
Yeah, women tolerate cheating all the time.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think men have a harder time. I feel like anything that you're doing, you wouldn't want your person to know if you're in a committed monogamous relationship. So whatever it is that I'm doing that I'm hiding from my partner would be considered cheating. Like I wouldn't want you to know that I'm maybe texting my ex or that I'm, going to go meet with this guy for dinner or, and then it can go as far as having sex. If that's what your agreement is. Obviously you have a different agreement with your partners, as you said, but if you decided to be in a committed relationship and you guys decided to be
in a committed relationship.
Oh, okay. You're in a committed relationship. Well, whatever agreement, everyone has a different record deal in a relationship, right? So whatever type of agreement you guys have decided upon, anything that goes outside of that is cheating, right? So like anything that I would hide from my man that I know he wouldn't be okay with, I would consider cheating, right? So like I'm talking on the phone to a man and he would walk in and I'm hanging up the phone, like that type of stuff. It can go as far as the little as that or as far as we had sex and we was messing around, whatever it is. So everyone has a different opinion on what cheating looks like. I think that's something that people should discuss and understand.
Lying is cheating.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I said cheating was if you never seen your girl without makeup.
Oh yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
That's cheating.
Low key, that's some deep shit right there. Shout out to Devontae Dixon 7275. He said 50. She said shout out to the 5150 Nation. Got another 5150 representative in the chat. Shout out to you.
That's cheating, right? Because it's saying that you're covering up something. You're hiding something.
Well, why would you make someone your girl before you didn't see them without makeup? Why wouldn't you be like, yo, we haven't seen, let's go in the pool.
It looked like it wasn't makeup. You blended in.
When do you see a girl without makeup?
That's what I'm saying.
I come on the show and don't wear makeup all the time. So
no, but like
you know, I don't.
She's wearing makeup right now.
No, like this is not about you. It's about when do you see a girl.
When do you see a girl? Am I a girl?
When do you see a girl without makeup? Well, you gotta answer the question then. When
I
do you
just
see a
told
girl
you.
without makeup?
I just told you.
I think it's dope that you
just don't though. We say
bold enough to be seen without makeup.
But
I know
you just
bitches who
don't in
wear
the real
makeup
world.
to take the garbage out.
No, I think I'm beautiful without makeup though. That's my own opinion. People can
That's
call me
fact.
ugly or whatever they want to call me. I have freckles. I like my face without makeup, sometimes more than with makeup. And I don't know how to do makeup well at all. So
Oh man, too much cap. She just capping, but whatever. We're gonna let her cap away.
now I literally just have blush on and bronzer and lipstick. So I'm not big on makeup, but we do live in a society where women wear makeup a lot. And I do think that I saw someone the other day and I only seen her with makeup and she was very beautiful to me. And I saw her and I was like, oh, I didn't know her. I didn't know it was her. I did not know it was her. And it freaks me out because I'm like, this is how good we're getting at painting faces to look like it's someone different.
We gotta reevaluate. See, look,
Most
the
people don't know how
rating
that
scale.
woman look until she in the hospital.
Right.
That's crazy as hell.
That's
Hey, so
real
listen,
shit.
I'm gonna say this.
In the hospital.
You go in
There's
the
a
room,
new-
you be like, oh, I'm sorry, I was looking for my girl.
We gotta come out.
That's,
That
what
is
about,
your
what
girl.
about, what
No,
about
look,
taking a shower?
It's James Brown in there. That ain't my girl.
I'm crying. What about taking a shower with a girl? Like, do you
Girls
think
wear
we're going?
makeup to the shower.
They don't wash their
What
face
about
right
the
there in
pool
front
though?
of you.
What about the pool then?
They don't get in the pool.
They don't get the pool layout.
Man, hoes be wearing makeup at the gym, bro. It's crazy work. Like, I didn't see that. I'm like, why? I never forget. I was this was when I was on the team, and this dude, he showed like he had broke up with his girl, but his girl, I guess to I guess to prove what he lost, she showed up all glammed up, and I noticed she was glammed up, and I was like, why she? I'm like, damn, she bring her makeup to the gym. And he was like, nah, she always does it. I'm like, wait, so she regularly wears makeup to the gym? And she's like, yeah. He said, I thought he said, yeah, a lot. He said, he's like, are you used to like not seeing? I'm like, look, I'm just used, like, bro. I just wouldn't have expected, women going out their way to wear makeup at the gym. But I've even seen it too. Like, I remember this one girl too, specifically when I was in college. I'm talking about every single class she was glammed up. Every single class. She had a full costume from the neck up. There's a lot of women out there. They can't, like, their face, like their makeup is their face, if that makes sense.
What?
Listen, they got to be a
I'm
new.
confused at what
no,
kind of-
Hair will come off and everything.
I want to tell the world this right now, and you better understand this right now. Whatever you see your girl, like you have a rating for your girl or a girl you talking to, say like, oh man, what you think she is? Oh, she is a solid 7. She probably a 3.
So you've never seen a girl that
If
had
she a 7, she a 3. If she a 8, she a 5.
I have a question for
If
both
she a
of you.
dime, she a 8.
Have you
Maybe.
ever seen a girl that had
Real
went out,
life.
had makeup on, all of this, and then you seen her without makeup, natural hair, chilling, and you weren't like, wow, she's beautiful. She's more beautiful this way. Because
Yeah,
I've been
I've
in a
seen
relationship where men are like, I prefer you without makeup or without a weave in and just your natural hair looks more beautiful to me. Like, so you're telling me you never seen a girl that's more beautiful without that?
All my girlfriends.
So then you can't say that.
You say all your girlfriends, brother?
Yeah, we're better without makeup.
Oh, see, that says a lot because
But I was on that though. I was really on that. You know what I'm saying? I was really on that. I was like, ain't no.
You just said
fake
on here that you
hair.
were dating someone that had got the
You know what I used to
crazy.
do? You know what the first thing I do? I meet a girl. I used to be like, let me see. I touch her. I touch right here, and I go straight to the back and see if there was any speed bumps. If there was speed bumps, I was like, no, I'm good.
well, it's speed bumps most of the time, though.
But I'm just saying, my
Do
girlfriend.
you have a type?
Oh man,
I just asked you that because you said you like all of them without makeup.
Yeah, I do. My type has changed as the stages of my life has changed.
Yeah, makes
You know
sense.
what I'm saying? As you get like older, I'm pushing 49 now, so it's changing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like it's settling, but it's changing definitely. And so,
One day I gotta show you guys like my type in each race of women. So like when people ask me my type, I don't have a preferred race. But with each race, I do have a type. That's what I just recently found out. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. Like, I don't have a preferred race in terms of what I find attractive. Because to me, beauty is beauty. If you pretty, you pretty. It is what it is. But I do need to do a show where I'll show you with each race what's the type that I like, the type that I fall for. the types that I fall for in each race. I definitely got to do something like that with like, and basically I'll show you a black female celebrity or a black female example, a white female example, a Latina female example, and it could be celebrity or non-celebrity. I'll show you an example, a prototype. I'll show you. I'll be like, yeah, this is my type. And it's not always going to be the prettiest girl. It's just going to be these are the types that I'll be falling for. By the way, where I'm not even, I don't think I can OD tell you where I'm working at, but one of my part times is literally all Latinas. All Latinas. It's just, so yeah, pray for me, man. Pray for me. Remember that Uncle Ruckus scene I showed you last time? Yeah, it be like that sometimes over there.
Whereas before, I think, man, my first girl was light skinned and brown skinned, and like, it's changed. Like,
do you have a type?
No type.
You might see me with a cute bitch one day. You might see me with an ugly bitch the next day. But you saw me with a bitch.
What's the heaviest?
That's that used to be me. I ain't even gonna hold you. That used to be me. I'm a lot more stricter now. You know who made me a lot more stricter in terms of that? Who encouraged me to be a lot more pickier or to up my standards when it comes to picking women? Chronic. So he'll be like, look, I'm only messing with a bitch that's this age to that age. I'm not messing with a bitch over this age or whatever. Or I'm not taking a girl seriously over this age. And it really got me to think, I'm like, I gotta stop messing with chubby women or fat women in general. I don't care about all, like, I remember like so much so I remember in I think 2023 or 2022, I think it was 2023, I came on Chronic's channel and I said, look, I'm a since I'm on this channel, I'm a declare this right now. I'm gonna stop. I'm no more fat women. No more BBWs or chubby chicks or thick chicks. Nah, none of that no more, man. And I think that was, to me, in my opinion, that's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. Just from my opinion, and people might say, "Oh, but you taking away from." Nah, I think that was a good decision because now it's already ingrained in me not to pick at low hanging fruit because we already know why you'll have guys like me or whatever, guys in general, ninjas. Let's keep it a bug. It's low hanging fruit when you messing with a fat chick. It's low hanging fruit, and that's why you're going after a woman like that, or you're going after a so-called thick chick, and you're convincing yourself that, oh, I don't mind if she a little thick, but really you're picking that low hanging fruit, So that's one of the better decisions I've ever made, just to stop messing with women like that and up your standards, so you're not dealing with low hanging fruit. But it's very interesting though, because you'll have a chick like that and they'll feel entitled to your attention. So because you're a black dude, right, and you already have that reputation of messing with women with weight, they'll be around you and then be shocked that you don't really want anything to do with them. And then that's when they start really getting mad at you. So I've already dealt with that. You'll have like one of these, like, especially like, you ever dealt with like, have you ever, particularly when it comes to, I will say this, when it comes to white females that try to cater to ninjas, and if you're a ninja yourself and you don't give her the attention that she's looking for, she's gonna act like you're an evil person. At least with the Latinas, this is what I respect about the Latina woman. They will actually be impressed with you. Like if you're like a black dude and you around a Latina woman that's like, so like, that's kind of shaped like a black woman, that's kind of, or I don't know how. Well, there are, first of all, there's black Latina women. Let me rephrase what I just said. Where you have a Latina woman that's shaped a little bit right, but she's thick. She's a little bit thick. If you're a black dude that you're not pandering toward her, and you're actually just treating her respectfully, and you're not trying to simp, and you're not trying to ask her out, she will actually give you a compliment over that. She'll be like, she'll be like, you're the only black person I know that ain't trying to hit on me. I've gotten that a couple of times. I ain't even gonna hold you. That happened because I remember when my cousin, he went through that when he was at the gym, and he was talking to the plus size Latina IG model chick that was really popular. I'm not gonna say her name. I think I don't know if he ended up doing a collab with her. I'm not sure. But that's happened to me a couple times where you'll have the Latina chicks, they're like they'll be kind of cold to me at first, but then they find out that I'm not like trying to OD smash. So then they'll be like, oh, cool. And then they'll get comfortable like real quickly once they realize the type of timing that I'm on. Right. Ooh. I'll say this one place though. I'll say this one place. It looks like I know that I would kill it, and it's basically confirmed because over here I'm basically killing it with this one demographic of women. I'm if push comes to shove, I'm gonna just move to Poland. Polish chicks love me, bro. I don't know what it is. I have like zero trouble getting Polish chicks, or meaning like any chick with some kind of a Polish background. For some reason, that is like it's like what do you call it? I don't want to call it like a guarantee, but it's like do you know anybody knows the hitter? Anybody that watch baseball? Who's a guaranteed hit? Yandy Diaz. Let me take Yandy Diaz, for example. Once Yandy Diaz show up to the plate, he's a guaranteed single or a double. He's gonna go 1 for 2, at least. He's gonna go 2 for 4, 1 for 2. He's gonna get a hit somewhere. He's gonna get a hit. He's gonna get some kind of a positive outcome. He's gonna be in a position where he can get an RBI. Polish chicks, for some reason, it's easy work for me. So I know if push comes to shove, I'm gonna just move to Poland and then pick a Polish chick and just work it out from there. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not I'm the type, I am not gonna go, especially when it comes to women. I'm not gonna you try to avoid looking for a challenge. I don't want a challenge. I just want to be like, okay, all right, which bitch is being mostly obedient? All right, you win. You come with me, you do this, boom, boom, boom. That's it. I am definitely taking the path of least resistance when it comes to that. I took the walk to Poland. Yo, I saw that interview that trolled Lil Yachty. He said, I gotta show you my favorite song. My favorite song of yours. I took the walk. Lil Yachty. He was mad at that interview. He was tight. He straight up trolled him. This is older white dude. Straight up trolled him.
Go. What's the heaviest you can go?
Man, I was talking about it on my show. One day I had a 400-pounder. It was different, Paul. It was,
I'm crying. I
she
love
worked at
it.
the airport, man. She had to plug. I said I had to do what
She
I
was
had
400
to do, man.
pounds?
Yeah, she about 400 pounds. Yeah.
No way.
This what was amazing. Like once you open her butt a little bit, it get real dark in the inside. I was like, bitch, did you light a firecracker in your ass? What the hell happened?
Eyes rubbing.
Yeah, that rubbed me. I call that. Look like where the airplane land. That's what I call it.
I am crying.
It's bad, but sex ain't always for pleasure for me. I've been hustling. I didn't pay rent until I was 30 years old because I always knew how to lay up off a broad.
Yeah.
They say the big women be paying the bills.
Yeah, big girls, they're going to get what they can get.
Right.
Yeah, we have already talked about that on this channel. Let me it's my favorite song. Yeah, Lil Yachty. I took the walk. Oh man. So I'll say this, man. I know these songs are stupid as hell, but I be liking some of those songs. Even some Lil Uzi songs I be liking sometimes. I ain't even gonna hold you. Some of those beats are a little, some of these songs are catchy. So this is some interesting stuff right here. I just shared this tab because obviously we're gonna have to finish the Corey Holcomb video another time. We'll do a part 2, not too long from now. Hopefully I don't gotta go nowhere tomorrow. Honestly, I am tired of practicing. People asking me to do rehearsal. And you show up to the rehearsals and people don't know the songs. That I'm like, bruh, what's the point of me showing up? And I always have the hardest parts of the song, but I know the songs. But I gotta go there, and motherfuckers gotta ask me the chords and the shit. What the fuck? So I like, especially lately, I just been like, I'm not showing up to rehearsal. I value my time a little bit too much. What really pushed me to start valuing my time when it comes to rehearsals and practices is specifically where I was setting up a gig at the time, even though it ended up not coming through. I offered the dude a paid rehearsal, and he said, "Nah, I just can't make the drive." And I was like, you know what? What am I doing? Here I am. I'll be making rehearsals, try to, whatever. They be wanting me to travel, all over the place for a rehearsal, not even paying me. Meanwhile, I'm offering to do a paid rehearsal, and he's like, "Nah, I'm good." I told him, like, I'll cover your gas and literally, I'll cover your whole. And he's like, "Nah, I ain't doing it." And he knows I'm good for it. So I was like, I got to value my time a little bit more. And when you really start evaluating the situation, I'm doing practice with certain people where these guys cannot focus for more than 10 minutes at a time without some kind of a smoke break, without needing, what was that thing called? A jewel? These guys cannot practice without smoking on that little crack thing that they be smoking on. That's what I'm gonna call it, because they can't. It's like they can't go 20 minutes without smoking that little jewel crack thing. Their little crack jewel. I'm gonna call it their crack jewel, because it's basically like crack. Okay, they do another 5 minutes. They still can't concentrate. All right, we need a smoke break. We got to go outside. I'm like, we end up doing like 4 hours on 2 songs that they didn't go over. And you'll have guitarists that I'm playing with, and they don't know their parts, and they're asking me the chords verbatim. I'm like, bro, you're not playing the same chords as me. Yes, you're playing similar chords, but you're playing it's a separate part that you're playing in a certain way that you're playing that's different from the piano part. If you're just going to copy the same exact chords that I'm doing, there's no point of you being there. but I haven't really had the balls to say this shit out loud. You know what I mean? And people are gonna take offense to that if I were to say that out loud. But bruh, you gotta know your parts. I can't do your job for you. What's the point of me showing up and nobody knows the songs? So that's what I've been doing. Like certain people, oh, Chris, you would have, no, dude. I am not traveling an hour or what? Fuck it, over 30 minutes to a rehearsal. But I remember one specific guy. This dude tried to ask me to show up to a rehearsal, and it was going to be an hour and 15 minutes away. I'm like, no, what the fuck out of here. Fuck, I look like, dude. I'm not traveling an hour 15 to rehearse to rehearse never too much for the 50th for the 600th time. I'm not doing that. Stop. And they will like try to guilt trip you. I'm like, but I've been like, for the past 2 years, I've been holding my ground. Like, I'm not doing that. Do you want me for the show or not? Yes? No? Okay. See you at the show. But anyways, I'm looking at this tweet right now before I sign off. I'm looking at this tweet. Somebody says content creators that switched up on the Passport Bros. They said Alpha Male Strategies, and number 2, Anton Daniels, number 3, Tariq Nasheed, number 4, Kevin Samuels, number 5, MTR. Somebody said they mad y'all ain't buying them dumbass courses. Maybe that's why they mad. But I don't know. Maybe he means that they I know what he means by switched up on the Passport Bros. That means they were pro. That means at one point they were pro Passport Bro and then they became anti Passport Bro, or they were anti Passport Bro and then they became Passport Bro. So it's basically either way that they were on the opposite end of the spectrum, whether it comes to supporting or not supporting them. They ended up switching to supporting or not supporting them at one point. And Tariq Nasheed, he's gonna, do Tariq Nasheed things. So I'm always pro, men, exercising their options. But anyways, we're gonna have to do a part 2. I am getting sleepy. I don't know what kind of day I'm gonna have tomorrow, but we will find out. I gotta do a whole bunch of phone calling, practicing, and all of that. By the way, doing this church stuff, man, this is like, this shit is crazy because I don't have a bass player. So I got to do the keys and the bass. I wish I at least had an organist to help me out. Then it wouldn't be too bad, or at least a guitarist or something. But it's literally just me and the drummer. So I have to really make my sound full. And on top of that, a lot of the times I got to bring my own equipment over to the church, But I'm stationed where I'm stationed at. I'm at an interesting spot. I'm definitely at an interesting spot, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. I don't want to say too much. Because there's some things that happen at that church where I'll say this just to let you guys know, AI church coming is gonna be there's a lot of people incorporating AI into their ministries, into their sermons. That's gonna be, well, it's really the thing right now, but it's kind of like a really badly kept secret amongst a lot of the pastors and the reverends. People they're incorporating AI into their services, and it's going to be the norm very soon. Right. But anyways, we'll leave it at that. I'm going to shut this bad boy down, like AJ would say. and we will do a part 2 very soon. Enjoy your nights, guys. Oh yeah, NBA Finals game 1 is going on right now, but me, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna get a little bit of a snack and some tea and then go to bed real quick. Right. Thank you guys for watching. I will do a part 2 of this interview very soon. Peace out, guys. Oh, I'd even check. I don't know which outro video to do, but I'm gonna do Dr. Umar Johnson real quick.